In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this website step by step with no steps skipped. We're making this website for Christina, and I'm so happy to make this free website for her. She had a life-altering accident, and at first she felt sorry for herself. But then she overcame it, and she wants to show others how to overcome their challenges, and she wants to help them with their dreams. So we have our goal. In Christina's case, it's to become a life coach. So what do we need? We need content to attract people. And that's one of the first things that we did is we made a blog for her. The next thing, in my opinion, that we needed was a little bit of fuel. And that is Amazon affiliates. So when someone clicks on her blog post and she recommends a book or a product, she can link to Amazon. And when people click on that link, she's going to get a commission on anything that they buy from Amazon within 24 hours. Even if it's a TV or something unrelated to what she's selling. And that will lead us to our next step, which is analytics. We need a way to track all of the people that are going on our website, and we need to see what content that they really like and what content that they don't like, so that we can double down on the content that people really like, so that again, we can get more affiliate sales and then create better content. The next step is the newsletter. Sometimes people go on your website, but then they really like it, but then they just leave and they never come back. They kind of forget about it. So it's a really good idea to have an email newsletter that people can sign up for, because then she can keep on sending them helpful articles that people really like. And that will really bring us to the next step, which is purchasing her product or services. Now she has a service as a life coach. You can sign up for her and buy 1 month at a time or 4 months at a time or a year at a time. And her goal is to really help you on the journey of life. That's one of the things that I like about WordPress so much, is that it's so flexible that it can really support whatever your goals are. Some other things like Squarespace, Weebly, and Shopify, and Wix, they're not flexible enough to have all of the features that you really need in order to support your goals and dreams. With the design of this website, you can make it any design you want. You can make it look like Apple or Slack or Chanel or Nike. And we're using WordPress.org, which is the open source WordPress, and not WordPress.com, because I think that cost a little bit too much to get all of the features. WordPress is the most popular platform in the entire world for creating a website, and I think it's really cool. So if you're ready, then let's begin creating this website. First, let's do a quick overview of everything that we're going to learn and how much everything is going to cost. It's super inexpensive. The first thing that we're going to do is get your domain name. Then we're going to get hosting. We're going to install WordPress, and then you're going to create your website. So a domain name is about $13 every year. So that's not too bad. The next cost that we really need and we can't get around is hosting. Hosting is a computer that's on 24 hours a day that holds all of your website information. So it holds your images, your logo, your content, the way your website looks, everything like that. If you only had a domain name and you didn't have hosting, your website would come up blank. There would be nowhere to hold all of that information. Hosting costs about $10 a month. You can definitely get a discount, and you can bring that down to $3 a month if you pay a whole year at a time. So again, really inexpensive to have your website shown to the entire world. The next thing that we're going to do is install WordPress. WordPress is a content management system. It's the most popular one in the entire world, and it is free. So this is a thing that helps you manage all of your content instead of having to do all of the code and everything. All you have to do is install WordPress, and then you can visually drag and drop all of your images, all of your text, everything like that on your website. And again, it's the most popular content management system in the world, used by Fortune 500 companies, and I think it's great. The last thing that we're going to do, and the thing that's going to take the most time, is you're going to make your website. And because you're making it yourself, you're not hiring a web developer to do it, that's going to also be free. So in this section, it's going to include making your website, adding a blog, adding a shopping cart, learning about affiliates to make money, and everything like that. That's going to be the bulk of the tutorial. In the YouTube description below, I have all of the different steps listed out and the time in the video where that step occurs. So if you ever want to skip anything because it doesn't make sense for your business, you can just go in the description below and then click on something and it'll jump right to that section. So the total would be $26, but I'm going to show you how to get a discount. So the total is going to be $10 to start. Or the total, if you want to go a year at a time, will be $36 for the entire year. That's obviously a better deal. But if you want to pay the least amount up front, then you'd go with the $10 one. But if you want to save the most in the long run, you'd go with the $36 for the entire year. All right, so let's do steps 1 and 2, and we can do that in the same place. We can do that at hostgator.com. It's hostgator.com and press enter. I've been using HostGator for 14 years now, and I really love them. HostGator does give me a commission if I recommend them and you enter in my coupon code, so I really appreciate that. It helps me make these tutorials absolutely free. They have 24/7, 365 live chat and phone support, and their prices are really great. So you're going to see all of these different options like web hosting, website builder, WordPress hosting, VPS, dedicated, and domains. And if you want the best and the fastest, then you should go with WordPress hosting. But because you can always upgrade later at any time, why not just go with the least expensive plan? So that's going to be our strategy going in. If right from the start you want the fastest hosting possible, then go with WordPress hosting. But I'm going to stick with web hosting because it's the least expensive upfront. So just go ahead and click on web hosting. So next we're going to see 3 different plans here: the hatchling plan, the baby plan, and the business plan. The business plan just has way too much stuff, and we're going to stick to our strategy of always being able to upgrade later. We don't need all of these things that they're offering, and honestly, most of them don't even help. The difference between the hatchling plan and the baby plan is the hatchling plan offers a single domain name, so like yourwebsite.com, where the baby plan offers unlimited domain names, so like yourwebsite.com, yourfriendswebsite.org, yourmomswebsite.net, yourotherwebsite.com. You can have as many domain names as you want. I personally have the baby plan because I have a lot of domain names. But still sticking with our strategy, you're probably only starting off with 1 domain name. So why not get the hatchling plan, and then you can always upgrade later. Unless of course you know that you already have 2 domain names and you want 2 websites right from the start. But in this video, we're only going to have 1 website. So we're going to click on buy now for the hatchling plan. Now it's going to ask you, do you want to register a new domain name or do you already own a domain name? You would click I already own this domain name if you got the domain name from somewhere like GoDaddy.com and you've already purchased it. And you could just enter it right here. But since we're registering a new domain name, I'm just going to click on register a new domain and enter that in right here. Next, it's going to ask you, do you want the .com, the .online, .site, .store, .website, .tech, .space, .host, .net, .club? And I usually recommend going with the .com. But sometimes the .com isn't available, or sometimes you're a real cool person and you want like a .space, and sometimes that works out for your marketing. So it really is up to you. Sometimes it's hard to find the .com, so you can go with a different extension. So now it's going to ask us, do we want all of these other extensions? And the simple answer to that is no, because we're sticking with our strategy of spending the least amount possible. And really, why do you want to clutter up your whole mind and process and just everything by having so many different domain names? You don't need all of them. It's not like someone's going to try to copy your business with the .online or the .space. So I really just don't think it's very necessary. Obviously, they want to make more money, but I think we can pass on adding a whole bunch of domain names, and you can always add them later. Domain privacy protection. This one gives me a little bit of anxiety, to be honest with you. I have the strategy of spending the least amount possible, but sometimes if you don't enable domain privacy protection, at first you'll get a lot of spam calls. And this is because when you register a new domain name, your information like who it's registered to, so your name, your email, and your phone number can be found online, connected to your domain name or your website name. So sometimes people, if they don't enable this, will get a lot of spam calls at first. It only happens at first, usually, but I know that spam calls and robocalls are so annoying that anything that we can do to reduce that, sometimes it's worth it. So at $14.95 a year, it might be worth it to you, but I'm still going to stick with my strategy of spending the least amount possible, and so I'm going to uncheck that. In section 2, choosing a hosting plan, this is where things get interesting, and we can definitely save a lot of money by having the right strategy for saving the most amount possible. There's definitely ways to work this system. So our package type is Hatchling, unless we went with the baby plan to get unlimited domain names. And for the billing cycle, we can see that we can sign up for 1 month at a time, 3 months at a time, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, or 36 months at a time. And we can also see that the longer amount of months that we go for, the bigger discount we get, but the more it costs up front. So if you want to pay the cheapest amount up front, then you'd go with 1 month at a time. But if you want to save the most amount over the long run, then you would do 36 months at a time or 3 years at a time. So 1 month at a time is about $11 a month, and 3 years at a time comes out to about $3 a month. So this one really boggles my mind. Should I show people how to do 1 month at a time, so it's only $10 to get an entire website set up, which is amazing? Or do I show people the 12 months at a time where I have a coupon code that saves 74% off, and it's only $3 a month? Right now it's showing $6 a month, but in a second I'll show you how to reduce that to $3 a month. So obviously it's up to you. Whatever you guys want. Do you want to spend the least amount upfront, or do you want to save the most amount in the long term? There's no right answer to it. It's really whatever you want. So I'm just going to choose 1 month at a time. You can enter in your username and security PIN, and then enter in all your billing info. And don't worry, this isn't my real credit card number. I get some emails saying, hey Tyler, your credit card number is showing. It's not my real credit card number, so don't worry about that. Fill out all the information like your email, first name, last name, phone number. You can use a credit card or you can pay with PayPal. Expiration date and state. I'm in California, so I'm just going to put in California. Zip code. And we're done with that section. And step 4 of all of this, it asks you, do you want to add additional services? I bet you can guess what I'm going to say. And I'm going to say that no, you don't need any of these additional services because you can always add them on later. So the HTTPS, which is SSL or security for your website, already included. That's pretty awesome. Some hosting companies don't include it, and that sucks. Google actually ranks you a little bit better when you have HTTPS security. So that's awesome. Do you want to protect our site from hackers? Nope. If you stay up to date with WordPress, or you can get free security plugins for WordPress, which you'll understand later, then you don't really need this. So do we want to get professional email from Gmail? And we can always add it on later, so no, we don't. Your website already comes with free email also, but I do like the Gmail interface, so that may be something you want to consider later on. But right now we're going to say nope. Let's just get our website set up first before we do any of that. Do we want to back up our hard work? Well, we can do that ourselves, and we can save $23.95 a year. Holy moly. So it's pretty easy to do yourself, so we don't need that. But if you want, you can always add it on later. Do you want to improve your search rankings and increase website visitors? Now, I don't even know how they would do that. Honestly, that is something that you have to do yourself. I just don't, I don't know. No. All right, then we can see that it comes out to $23.90. However, I do have a coupon code, and that coupon code will save you the most amount possible. I actually have 2 coupon codes. One of them will save you the most amount possible. HostGator has told me that this is the biggest coupon code that there is, and I get a commission when you enter it in, so I really appreciate that. It helps me make these tutorials absolutely free, and I get to eat. The first one is SaveCode, SAVECODE. SaveCode. Press validate, and we can see that amount goes down to $10.37. But sometimes, every once in a while, I have another coupon code that actually saves you a lot more. Well, maybe not a lot more, but a little bit more. And that coupon code is STARTCODE, STARTCODE, and press validate. And it does save more, so that goes down to $9.38. But this is only for the first month. The second month is going to be about $10 or $11 also. And that's because we went with the month-to-month plan. If you use STARTCODE on the 12-month plan, it goes down to $3 a month or $36 for the entire year. So it really is up to you. Do you want to pay about $10 for 1 month to start, or do you want to pay $36 for the entire year? Going with the entire year is probably a lot smarter because you save a lot more in the long run. And it's amazing to be able to have a website and to spread messages to the entire world for $36 for the entire year. But I still got to stick with my philosophy and pay the least amount upfront. So I'm just going to go with the month-to-month, $9.38. The price may change a little bit here and there. And I'm going to click I have read and agree to HostGator's terms of service. And I'm going to check out now. So congratulations, we are all done getting hosting. The next thing that we're going to do is install WordPress. WordPress used to be super hard to install, but now it's just a few clicks. So what we're going to do is click on Marketplace. And after we do that, we're going to scroll down and click one-click installs. The next thing that we're going to do is click on WordPress because we're installing WordPress. And then we're going to select our domain name. We only have one, so we're just going to click it right here. And we're going to leave this directory blank because if we have something in there, then it's going to install on yourwebsite.com/something instead of yourmainwebsite.com. And we can see right here, it says, let a pro do it for you, where it's $3.99 or $1.99 or $99. And basically, that's what we're going to be doing right now. So you're saving yourself a whole bunch of money by doing it yourself. Super easy. All right, so let's just click on next. And then we can enter in all of the blog information right here. For the blog title, we can change this later, but just put your business name. For your username, you could put your name or admin. I'm going to put my first name and last name and my email address. Then I'm going to agree to the terms of service and click install. Once we do that, it's going to take a little while to install because it's installing all of these things on your website, all of WordPress. And it's going to say installation is complete. Now might be a good time to copy or print this installation details out just because it's annoying to lose your password. So I'm just going to copy all of that to a text file. And we are all done installing WordPress. The next thing that we're going to do is log into WordPress. To log into WordPress, we're actually going to open up a new tab. And let's put in our URL. And we can see this website coming soon page. Sometimes if you go to your website right after you've purchased your hosting, it won't work. It'll come up blank. That just means that you have to wait a couple of hours in order for it to work because your website takes a little bit of time to spread across the entire internet and work in every location. But if we see this website coming soon page, we know it's working, and now we can log into our WordPress. We're going to log in because if you don't log in, then you can't make any changes. So to log in, we're going to go to ourwebsite.com, .net.org, whatever it is, /WP-admin. Then we'll see this page right here that's asking us for our username and password. And we can find that on this page right here where we just installed it. So we can just copy or type in our username and copy our password because it's super funky. So I'm just going to type admin and I'm going to paste in that password. Then I'm going to click login. Once you log in, you're going to be in the dashboard. That's what the WordPress admin is called. It's called your dashboard. So after we've logged in, we can hover over this and click on Visit Site, and we can see that we have a WordPress website. So this is what some people would charge you $500 or $300 or $99 to do. Super easy. This top bar up here is only shown when you're logged in, so it's like the admin bar. Your customers aren't going to see this. Anyone who visits your website's not going to see this. You only see it when you're logged in. To get back to the dashboard, all you have to do is hover over your name again and click on Dashboard. So now that you're back in the dashboard, let's start making changes. The first change that I like to make is to change my password because that is a long, funky password and I can't really remember it. So let's go ahead and change it. To do that, all you have to do is click on Users. And then just hover over your name and click on edit. And then just scroll all the way down to the bottom and click generate password. It's going to generate a funky password for you. I'm going to hide this because I'm on the internet. And I'm just going to type in my own. All right, once we're done with that, we're going to click on update profile. And we're all done. Our password is now changed. If we see all of the stuff up here like Google Analytics, Opt-in Monster, all of this just mess up here. That's there because these hosting companies add unnecessary plugins to your website. What plugins are is plugins help you extend the functionality of WordPress. So there's a whole bunch of things that WordPress itself doesn't make, but other people, thousands and thousands of people make. So like a photo gallery or a way to really easily visually create your pages or a contact form. WordPress itself doesn't have all of these, but people make tons and tons of plugins for WordPress. And so you can install any of these things. The problem sometimes is that these hosting companies, they'll add in their own plugins that they want you to use or they want you to pay for, or other companies pay them to include it on your hosting, but we don't really want that. So the first thing that I want to do is delete the unnecessary plugins so that we can start from a clean slate. So to do that, we're just going to click on plugins and we can see all these plugins installed up here. And that will mark off all of them. And we're going to deactivate all of the unnecessary plugins and click apply. And now those plugins are deactivated. Now we can mark them off again and go to it and press delete and apply. Then press OK. And that will delete all of the unnecessary plugins on your website so that you can start off clean and fresh. Now that our website is all clean and fresh, the next thing that we're going to do is change the permalinks. So what on earth does this mean? And the easiest way to explain it is to actually just give you an example. So if we hover over our website and click on Visit Site, and we scroll down to one of these sample recent posts, we can see that it shows ourwebsite.com/index.php/2019, blah, blah, blah. Professional websites don't have this index.php. Professional websites just have your website.com/about or /contact or / the date and the blog name. They don't have this ugly index.php. So we want to get rid of that. Permalinks are the way to do that. It helps you with displaying your website links. So to change that, we're just going to go back into the dashboard by hovering over our website and clicking on dashboard. And then we're going to hover over settings. You can also click it, but I'm going to hover over settings and click on permalinks. We can see that we have this custom structure here, but we don't want that because that looks crazy. So all we're going to do is click on post name, and that will make it super simple and exactly what we want, and click Save Changes. All right, now if we go and visit our site and we click on Hello World, we are going to see that that index.php is gone and it's just /hello-world, which is perfect. So we're all done with that. The next thing that we're going to do is make sure WordPress is updated. It's very important to keep your WordPress updated. That's what gives you all of the latest features and makes your website secure. So hover over your website and click on Dashboard, then click on Updates. And we already have the latest version of WordPress, so that's great. So we're all done with that. The next thing that we're going to do is delete all of our unnecessary pages that WordPress or the other old plugins have added. So just click on Pages and check off this box to select all of them and move to Trash and Apply. Once it's in the trash, let's just delete it from the trash. So click on Trash, check that off, delete permanently, and Apply. So we are all done cleaning up WordPress and all of the pages. The next thing that we're going to do is install your website theme. Your website theme is the design of your website. Right now, your website theme is the default theme, which isn't that great. It doesn't give you enough flexibility and enough options that we want, so we want a much better theme. Getting a theme is super easy, and that's what makes WordPress so great. There are thousands and thousands of themes or designs of your website to choose from, and of course you can customize it any way you want. So to get a new theme, all you have to do is go to Appearance, then Themes. Then we're going to see this Add New button. Go ahead and click on it. And we can search for a theme. This theme is called the Astra theme. It's one of my favorites. I think that you're really going to like it. We can click on Details and Preview to see that it's rated 5 stars and it's been downloaded hundreds of thousands of times. But I'm going to skip all that and just click on Install. So now it's installing your theme. It's installing a new design for your website. And then we'll click on Activate. And your new theme is activated. We can hover over our website name and click on Visit Site. And we can see that we have a new design. Now this looks absolutely terrible, but we're going to make it look much, much better. This is one of the best themes to start off, and it starts you off with a blank canvas, so you can do practically anything. The next thing that we're going to do is install a maintenance mode plugin. So right now, if you go to Christina's website, you're just going to see this right here. It's blank. So we don't want anyone going to her website just to see a blank website. Instead, we want to show them a coming soon page. So to do that is pretty easy. All you have to do is hover over your website name and click on Dashboard, and then click Plugins. Then click Add New to add a new plugin. And now we're going to look for a plugin called Under Construction. Once we do that, we can see all of these under construction, maintenance, and coming soon plugins. We're just going to go with the first one, which has been installed 300,000 times and has a 5 out of 5 rating. And we're going to click Install Now. Then we can click on Activate, and our Under Construction plugin is activated. We can dismiss that right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to edit all of the settings. So we can hover over Settings and go to Under Construction. And we can dismiss this. And now we can see all of these different pages that we can choose for our under construction look. Some of them with the star in the corner are premium and you have to upgrade for that, but a lot of them are free. For Christina, I'm just going to activate this CyberCheck one. And now it's activated. We can go to Main and we can look at all of these different settings. So we can prevent search engines from indexing the site temporarily, but that's off. We can have an automatic end date, so that's off. We can click it on, and we can track it with Google Analytics. We can move that on and put in our Google Analytics code, which I'll show you later. But we're just going to mark them all off, but we're going to mark under construction mode as on. So we're going to save our changes, and now if we go up here and we click on preview, we can see what it's going to look like. So this is what our page looks like right now. And this is what everyone would see if they're not logged in. This sorry we're doing some work on the site right here has the ability to be edited. And so does this thank you for being patient. We're doing some work on the site and we'll be back shortly. And if we want over here, we can hide this login button. So let's see how to do that. Let's go back to our website and click on content. And everything here has the ability to be edited. For the headline, we can change that right here, and we can just put coming soon, and we can change the subheadline or the content right here. We can just put in we are almost done, ... And for that login button, maybe we want that off, so we just check that off, and we can save changes. Now if we go back to our website, we have to refresh. So just click on refresh, and now we can see that it is indeed changed. And we can also see that that button right here is gone. But if we go and visit our website, we're going to see that it's going to show the regular website, and it's going to have this text up here that says under construction mode is enabled, but you're whitelisted because we're logged in. So if you're logged in, you're not going to see the under construction, but if you log out and go to your website, then you will see it, just like a regular user. So now we're done putting our maintenance mode on the website. It's now time to actually create our content. But instead of having to make our website from scratch, which is terrifying, we can get a little help by installing a plugin called Astra Starter Sites. So this is a plugin that helps you start your website. It'll import all of these pages and everything to populate your website in a really nice way. And there's a whole bunch of different websites to choose from. That's one of the reasons why I chose the Astra theme, is because they have this beautiful Astra Starter Sites plugin that allows you to import so many different websites that are really just perfect and beautiful. So let's go ahead and install that. Let's close this tab right here and hover over your website name and click Dashboard. Then click on Plugins to add a new plugin and click Add New. Once we do that, we can search for Astra Starter Sites. And it's the first one with over 100,000 active installations. Click Install Now and click on Activate. Once we do that, our Astra Starter Sites is activated. And once it's activated, we can now import an entire website just in a few minutes. Instead of having to spend days and weeks and months building your website yourself, we can just import this one and you can edit it any way you want. So to do that, all we have to do is click on See Library, or we can go to Appearance in Astra Starter Sites. Then it's going to ask what page builder are we using. And there's one here that is so much better than all of the rest, and that is Elementor. So we're just going to click on Elementor and click on Next. And then we're going to see all of these different sites that we can choose from. Some of them are labeled agency, which means it costs money, but a lot of them are free. So let's just click on the free button and we can see all of these that are free, and they're beautiful, and it's entire websites with just a click of the button, which is amazing. For this one, we worked with the Astra people and we built this website and then we handed it over to them so that it would be available here. So we can click on Preview and we can see this website. It looks awesome. And if we have a previously imported site, we can say delete this previously imported site. But our website's blank, so we don't need to do that. Then we're going to click on Import Site. All right, and the process can take anywhere between 2 to 10 minutes, depending on the size of the website and the speed of the connection. But with the magic of editing, we're just going to speed up this process so that you're not staring at a website that takes 2 to 10 minutes to import. All right, so we're all done importing the website. It took about a minute and a half. And now we're going to click on View Site. And we can see this entirely imported website. And it looks really beautiful. And we can scroll down and we can see all of these different sections. And this would have took so long to create, but we did it in just a couple of minutes because the site was ready to import. And of course, you can edit anything that you want. Let's go and check out another page like the About page. And we can see that this page looks really nice also. And everything looks really good. Now we can click on the Work With Me page. This is going to be the page where people look at her packages and pricing. And we're going to have her FAQs right here and a free consultation form so that we can get people's email and we can start talking to them. We can also click on any of these packages and you can actually add to cart and you can buy it. So this really is an all-in-one website where we have the blog, the e-commerce, the regular website, and we just have everything. And we can click on Add to Cart. Or maybe we want, a different quantity. We want 10 one-on-one coaching sessions. We click on Add to Cart and it says this has been added to your cart. We can view cart and we can also see it added up here. So it's really cool. So we can view our cart and you could even apply coupons, or there's so many different things that you can do to really just control your entire website. And we can proceed to checkout. And right now I think those are in pounds, but we can change it to US dollars, which I'll show later. But you can add in all of your billing information and payment information, and then you can pay. We also have a book section here because she wanted a section with all of her favorite books, and we're going to have that link to Amazon so that she'll get a commission actually if someone buys her book on Amazon through her link. And I'm going to show you how to do that. We also have this beautiful blog here. And of course, you can change the layout of the blog. You can change what it looks like. Of course, you can change all the blog content, all of the images, everything. It's super customizable. So this is an actual blog post where people can leave comments and read her blog post. And I think this is going to be the main strategy of her website, having super high quality blog content that gets ranked really well in Google. People go there, they read it, they love it, they want to sign up with her. And there you go, you got a business. We also have a contact button where people can enter in their first name, last name, put a message, and see her contact info, find her on Facebook, Instagram, all of her social media, everything like that. The cart also has some cool functionality where if you hover over it, you can exit out like that. And overall, the website just has so many features. We can also click on this to go back to her homepage. But it just has so many features that you would really want in a website, and you can change it any way you want. And it's so much better to import a website than edit it, rather than having to come up with everything from scratch. Why reinvent the wheel? It's not necessary. So that's it. We're all done importing the website. The next thing that we're going to do is change your site title. Maybe you don't want this title up here, and maybe you want something else. So how do we do that? It, of course, is super easy. All we have to do is click on Customize, and then click on Layout, and then click Header, and click Site Identity. And this is where you can change the logo, which I'll show you how to do later. And here we can change the site title. So maybe we don't want it to say Happiness Compass. Maybe we want it to say My Website. Probably not. This is where your business name would be. So we're just going to put in Happiness Compass for her because that's her website name or business name. Next, we're going to put her tagline. A tagline describes your business. So maybe if you're a graphic artist, you would put, I do vector art, illustrations, and logos. This does show up in the search engines, so make it describe your business. We're going to put where smiles lead the way. All right, but I'm not going to display the site tagline on the website, and it will disappear from where her title and logo are. Then I'm going to go back and go back again and go back one more time. And we can also click on typography and go to the primary header, and we can change the font size. So maybe we want this to be 32 instead of 35 to give it a little more space. Then click on publish, and we are all done with that. We can exit out of there, and that's how you change the site title and tagline. Now we've finally arrived to the fun part, which is editing and changing your homepage in any way that you want. To do this, all you have to do is click on Edit with Elementor and just wait for it to load. And you have all of these different items that you can add to your website, like heading, image, video, button, and you can click, hold, and drag them to this right side. Or to edit the content that's already here, all you have to do is click on it and start typing. We can also type in over here, and we can also go to Style and change the text color to any different color that we want. And we can slide this around, but I'm just going to keep it as white. And for typography, we can change the font size. So maybe I'll make it a little smaller, or maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger. Maybe we also want to duplicate this heading, so we can just click on the pencil icon and click duplicate. And now there's two of them. We can, of course, click on the pencil icon and delete that. We can also drag in another heading below it for a subheading, and we can start typing right here. I'm just going to put turn troubles into triumphs. That sounds cool. And we can center it and go to Style and change the text color, and I'm going to change it to white again. Once I do that, I can click on typography, and we can change the font size. And you can also change the letter spacing so that there's more space between each letter. We can see that there's a gap here, so we can go to Advanced, and under Margin, unlink all of the values so they're not all the same. And we can put -20, let's say, in here, and that will make it so that there's not such a big gap. Next, we can click the Start Here button, and we can change the text to Get Started or anything that we want. I'm just going to keep it as Start Here. And for the link, this is where it links to. So we can change this to anything that we want, but I'm going to change it to the blog page. So just click on that. Once you start typing, it'll automatically suggest different pages to link to. So just click on that. Next, we can click style and we can change the background color of the button. Maybe we want it a pink or a blue or an orange, or just keep it green. And we can also change the hover color of the button. So when you hover over it, it'll change to orange, but you can change that to black or anything that you want. Everything on this page is customizable any way that you want. We can also change the border radius of the button and make it square. And if we add numbers, it will make it rounded. Next, we're going to click on the entire section right here in order to change this entire section. And we can go to style and we can see that that image is right there. So we can change this image. We can click on it. We can go to media library and we can choose something, anything that we want, or we can upload a file by going to upload files and select files. Let's get a picture of Christina in here because it's her website. So I'm just going to find that image on my desktop and I'm going to open it. The image is going to upload and we can click on insert media. Now we have a fantastic picture of her and it's really starting to feel like her website. We have all of these different options here. So maybe we want the position of the image to be top center or bottom center or just center. With the attachment, you can make it scroll or fixed. If we click on fixed, it's going to stay in the same spot when we scroll. See, the image doesn't move. But if we click on scroll, then the image will move. For size, I almost always use cover because I think that's the best one. But you can use contained, which looks ugly, and you can mess with the other ones, but cover's the best in my opinion. For background overlay, that's an overlay that makes the image darker or a different color. And sometimes you want to use this if you have specific colors on your website and you just need to integrate the pictures a little bit more, or if you think it looks cool, or if you want the text to pop out a little bit more. So we're making it a little bit darker so that you can read the text a lot easier and the text doesn't get lost in all of the white clouds or the white mountains. And for opacity, that's how see-through it is. So you can make it 0, or you can make it 100, or you could just make it 50. That looks pretty good, so we're just going to keep that. Down here, you can see this little wave right here. That's actually not part of the image. That's part of all the really cool things you can do with Elementor. So just click on the entire section and go to Shape Divider. And you can see that the top has none, but we can make the top have mountains, which looks crazy, or a wave brush. We're just going to keep it none. And we can see that the bottom one has that wave brush. We can do a wave pattern. We can do mountains. We can do anything that we want. And I feel like the wave brush sort of gives this website a naturey feel. So I think that's really cool. We can change the height of it. I'm just going to keep it at 50. And we're all done with that section. The next section that we're going to do is this one right here. Her name is not Sarah John, so we're going to change that. I'm just going to type in her name right here. And this little line right here, we can change the color or just keep it black. We can change how wide it is by taking the slider and sliding it up. We can also change the length of it by sliding the width. Or you can type it in right here. We can also edit all of this text right here, and we can paste in our own text. So there we go. That's her text in there now. You can change this button to say anything that you want or link to anywhere that you want. I'm going to link it to the About page. So just start typing About and choose the About page. Next, we're going to change this image because this is not Christina. So just click on it, click on the image, and find an image that would work. I'm going to upload the file and select the file, choose the image of her and press open. Then I'm going to insert media. Once that's done, there'll be a picture of her. That looks awesome. And now we can scroll down to this Work With Me section. We can edit that by clicking on the pencil, highlight all the text, and you can paste in your own text. We can click on the link and change the link to your own link. You should know how to do this by now. I'm going to start typing in Work With Me because that will link it to the Work With Me page. Next, we can click on this image right here, and we can change that image to any image that we want. Or, of course, we can upload our own image. Select Files, choose the correct image, and press Open. Then we can insert media, and we have a picture of her again. So that's awesome. And we can preview it by clicking on this right here. And we can see that that page looks pretty good. But what do we do with this section right here? The How May I Help You? Well, first, let's update the website so it saves all of our changes. And what we want to do in this section is actually add her latest blog post to it. And in order to do that, we need another plugin to display all of her latest blog posts. So let's click on this icon up here and let's exit to the dashboard. So we need to get another plugin. So let's go to Plugins and let's add New. And we're going to search for a plugin called Essentials Add-ons for Elementor. Then let's just click on Install Now and let's activate it. Once we do that, we can now go back to our website by hovering over our website and clicking on Visit Site. And once again, we can click on Edit with Elementor. That plugin is going to give us the option of displaying our blog post right on the home page. So it's really cool. So just scroll down and let's change the title to Recent Posts. And let's delete this section right here. And let's delete this one right here. And we can also delete this one right here. And let's delete this one. All right, now let's click on this icon and let's search for posts. And we can see this new widget here. So let's drag it in. And now it's going to show all of our recent posts. And we can see that that looks pretty cool. So we can change posts per page. Maybe let's put that as 3 so we have a little more space. But we can see this gap right here. So let's go to Layout Settings. And instead of 4 columns, let's do 3 columns. And that looks awesome. Let's get rid of me there because I don't want me to be there. It's her website. So for meta position, let's just do entry header. That'll get rid of me. And under style, we can change the background color or any of the different colors to make it look great and match our website. I'm just going to choose white. For color and typography, we can change the color of the title and the color of the hover. So maybe we want that to be green when we hover over it. That looks pretty cool, matches our website. And for typography, we can just enter in a new size, maybe a little bit smaller so that we can see it easier. Next, we can see this little arrow button, and that's under hover card style. We can change that to a magic wand. It's kind of cool. Or we can change it back to the arrow, which kind of makes more sense. For the background color, we can change that. We can make it a green, make it more see-through if we want. That looks pretty cool. And we're all done with that. For the view more, we can just type in visit blog. And for the link, we can just start typing blog and we can choose the blog. Then we can update that and our most recent posts will be on the home page. We can get rid of all of that and just look at her main website, and we can see we have customized the website exactly how we wanted it. And that looks super awesome. Now you might be wondering, what if I want to make a completely new section and I don't want to just edit sections? You don't want some pre-packaged template. You want to create something entirely from your own imagination or something else you've seen on another website. That's super easy. Let's learn how to do that. Let's exit out of here. And to make a completely new section, we're going to scroll down and click on this plus button. and we can change it to 1 column or 2 columns. This is what 2 columns looks like up here. We can change it to 3 columns, which you saw with the blog post. We're just going to choose 1 column and click on this menu icon, and let's drag in a title. All right, we can just start typing. Let's type in WordPress. Let's center it. Let's go to style. Let's go to typography. Let's change the font family to permanent marker because that looks pretty cool. Let's change the font size to 80, or we can choose this as Lato because that looks even better, more professional, and change it to 100. For the font weight, let's make it a little more bold by putting in 700. You could also make it really thin by putting in 100, or just the default. That's cool too. We can transform it to all uppercase. That looks awesome. We can make it italic if we want, or just keep it default. For text decoration, we can underline it or overline it, or just keep it default. We can click on the menu and we can add in a text editor, and we can highlight all of that text and delete it and put in our own text and put in "you are in control of everything." Great. We can go to style and we can center that. We can go to typography and we can make that bigger. We can go back to the menu and we can drag in a button under it. And what we can do, it's a really cool trick, we can right click and we can copy this button, and then right click and we can paste the style. So just paste the style of the button, so we don't have to keep on remaking it over and over again. Then we can center it and we can change the text, maybe contact, and we can change the link. Maybe we want to link this to the contact page. Next, we'll click on the whole section and we'll go to style and let's change the background color. So click on classic, and for color, we can make it a orange or a blue or a green. We can also click on the WordPress and we can change the color. You've done all of this, but I just want to put it all together for you. We can change that to white. We can change this color of the background also to orange or green, or we can even make it a gradient, so it goes from green to red or green to blue. We can even change the angle of it, so that looks pretty trippy. And the location, so maybe it starts at the top, or maybe it starts in the middle, or maybe it starts at the bottom. You can do so many things. You're literally in control of everything. We can also make an image as a background by choosing that and choosing an image. And again, we want to make it so that it is cover instead of default. That looks pretty cool, but let's make it a center so it looks much better. Maybe there's not enough space at the top and bottom, so just click on the entire section and go to advanced and unlink the values so they're not all the same. And let's do 100 padding at the top and 100 padding at the bottom. And that's starting to look really good. Maybe if we click on the whole section, we can go to background overlay and we can make the background dark so that the words pop. So now you know how to make a super professional section that looks really awesome. But we're not going to keep that on her website. That was all just demonstration, so we're going to exit out of there and we are going to update. And now we are done editing and changing your homepage in any way that you want. But will your website still look amazing on your phone or on people's phones? The next thing that we're going to do is show you how to edit the mobile version of your website. Luckily, Elementor already makes your website responsive, so it's going to look pretty good right out of the box. But we can make it look even better and perfect it by editing the mobile version only. All we have to do is click down here on this icon and choose mobile. That will make it look like the mobile version or the version that it looks like on your phone. And as we can see, it already does a pretty good job of making it look pretty good. There are a few tweaks that I want to make for the mobile version only. One of them is this title up here. So we can just click on this entire section and go to advanced. And we can make sure the cell phone icon is checked. And let's take some of the padding out. So on the right and left, let's make it 20 instead of 30. And let's click on the headline and go to style and go to typography. Make sure it's on mobile version, and let's make that much bigger. Next, let's edit the headline below it and go to Style. Click on the pencil icon, and let's change the size to much smaller so it makes sense on your phone. Then we can go to Advanced. We can unlink all of the margins, and let's change that to about -10. Next, we're going to scroll down to the coaching section, and we're going to edit that, and maybe let's center this. So make sure mobile is clicked, center, and edit this one. And let's center that also. Then let's center this line also. And let's also center the text. Style and center. All right, that's looking pretty good. Let's center this button. Very nice. And let's scroll down to recent posts. Click on this column. Go to Advanced. Let's unlink the padding, and that will make it all zeros. And that will make it wider on the sides. Next, let's click on this Edit right here to edit the post grid. Go to Style. Go to Colors and Typography. And let's change the typography. And let's make this a little bit smaller. All right, that's looking awesome. Next, let's go to the Work With Me section. And again, let's center everything. So click on Work With Me and center that also. And let's click on this section and center it also. Style and center. Let's center this button too by clicking on it and centering it. Cool. Let's scroll down a little bit and let's edit this image. Go to Advanced and let's hide on mobile. Turn that on. And now that will be gone in the mobile version. So that's really cool that you can hide and show different elements, whatever elements you want, to either appear on desktop or hide on tablet or hide on mobile or show on mobile and hide on desktop, whatever you want. All right, let's mark that off though, because we actually do want her there. Just wanted to show you that. Let's click on the entire section and go to Advanced again. And we can do that for an entire section. We can hide it, or we can reverse the columns. So this will stack the columns in a different order, the opposite order of how by default they stack. So we can make her go on top, which looks much better. All right, we can click on the whole column right there and take out this margin on the mobile version so it gets pushed up a little bit more. And we can change the margin on the bottom also so it looks a little bit better. All right, that's looking pretty awesome. Once we're done with that, we can click on Update to save all of our changes, and we can click this button to see how it would really look on the mobile version, and that looks really cool. So now it looks perfect on your mobile phones or people's mobile phones, and that's something that really polishes off your website. All right, let's go back to our desktop view by clicking on that and desktop. And we can see our desktop looks like it did before. It didn't affect any of it. And we can go back to our main website and we can see that it still looks awesome. The next thing that we're going to do is edit the About page. We're going to learn a couple of cool tricks to really polish off our website. So to edit the About page, just click on About and click Edit with Elementor. You already know how to do this, so it should be pretty easy. All right, so just click on About and then go to Advanced and click on Motion Effects. And under Motion Effects, let's click on Fade in Left, and we can see that that About now fades in. So when someone reloads the page, they can see any of these different effects. So I think these are really cool. There's a whole bunch to choose from. Fade in up, that's pretty awesome. We can also do that for the divider. We can go to Motion Effects, Entrance Animation, and Fade in down. So now that will look really cool. We can edit this picture and choose her picture by uploading an image or just going to the media library and choosing her. and then inserting media. Super easy. Next we have all of this text, this lorem ipsum, but we want to edit it by clicking on the pencil icon and then highlighting it all and just pasting our text in there or typing it in. Very cool. Under My Passion, we can click on it and then go to Advanced and go to Motion Effects, and we can change this also to fade in down. And with the divider, we can change that also to fade in up, so one goes down and one goes up. It'll look really cool. Click the pencil icon and we can change this, and we can just paste in our text. Very nice. And then we can click on this divider and go to Advanced and Motion Effects again, fade in down, and click on the My Goals, Advanced, Motion Effects, and we'll fade this up. Very nice. Next, we'll go to this part and we'll click on Edit, and we will just paste in all of our text for the My Goals section. Very nice. Now let's update and let's preview our changes and let's see all of those effects in action. So there we go. Fades in. Very cool. Go to the next part. Fades in. Very nice. It just adds an extra little touch to make it really cool. So that's it. That's how you edit the About section. The next thing that we're going to do is edit the Work With Me page. To do that, let's exit out of here and let's click on the Work With Me link. Then click Edit with Elementor. And if we look, we can see that our package and pricing section is blank right here. And if we click on Edit, we can see that it's a short code. So this is a code that's going to display all of her different packages. And this gets updated from WooCommerce, and it's displayed with this short code right here. So we can see on the left it says product limit, so 4, and columns 4. So 4 different products under 4 different columns. So I'm going to show you how to change that later, so we're not going to worry about that right now. Under frequently asked questions, we can just click on this pencil icon and we can begin editing. So these are all the different sections on the left side here. If we click on what is coaching, we can change that title right here. We can just paste in something else. And beneath it is all of the paragraph content. So we can just highlight that and paste in something else also. So that's pretty easy. We can just keep on doing that. And I'm going to speed it up right here because it's pretty boring to watch me paste in all of this content. And if we look over here, we can see that there's different plus icons. And that's controlled by this icon over here, so we can definitely change it if we want to. We can make them a little more boxy, or a circle, or this angle right. I think that's kind of cool. And this active icon is the minus, but we can change that too. We can change it to this up, which kind of makes sense. And to style it, just click on Style, and we can change the border width. And now we can see the little lines under it. It's kind of cool. That looks awesome, actually. Really cool. We can also change the border color. Maybe we want it to be green or blue or orange or clear. And we can, again, make this 0 if we want it just to be really clean. We can also go to the title and change the background color to orange or clear or whatever. And the other color to any color that we want. And the active color is when it's active, so when you've clicked on it. Now it's changed colors, so there's all these different options that are really cool. We can make a blue or orange or clear that, and it'll be default. Then with the icon, we can have a different alignment. So maybe it's aligned to the right, or maybe it's aligned to the left. It makes a lot more sense to the left, so I'm just going to do that. For the content, we can change the color here, the background color to orange or green, or so many different options. We could change the padding, which is the spacing around it. Basically, you can change anything. And that's super cool. I really like it. That's an awesome, cool little effect and cool section. If we scroll down, we can edit this free consultation. Maybe we can put something else like 30-minute clarity call. No pressure. All right, so she's not going to pressure you into signing up. It's just going to be a call to make sure that you guys are the right fit for each other. I think that's kind of cool. Then we can go to style, and maybe we want that size to be a little bit smaller. Just get it right. All right, that looks pretty good. And let's expand that out a little bit. Make the column width a different width, maybe 42, so it all lines up a little bit better. And then the text under it, we can change that, or we can delete it. Let's delete it. Next, let's search for some icons, because maybe we want an icon list, just to give a couple of points to convince people to call her, because she's awesome. All right, we can go over here and we can change the icon of the different list items, and we can delete them and then duplicate them if we want, and then go to style, change the spacing in between them, click on divider or no divider, go to the icon, change the size, so many different options. Go to text and indent it differently, maybe to 8. Go back to content, and we can change the list items. First point is talk about your goals and the obstacles in your way. The next point is see if we're a good fit to work together. The next one is answer any questions you have about the process. All right, that's awesome. Now we can go and click over here, and we can see that this form is a short code. So it's a code that you put in to your website in order to show this form right here. And we're gonna go over the form a little bit later, so don't worry about that right now. But if someone fills it out, it will email her or email you, and then she can call. All right, but we're all done with that, so let's press update, and let's press the little I so that we can preview it. And we can see all of our packages, and we're gonna change that later in this shopping cart section. And we can see our FAQs all there, and the 30-minute clarity call, no pressure. And that is looking amazing. Really cool page, I think. I think that's gonna really help her to get a lot of people to sign up. The next thing that we're gonna do is edit the books page. So let's close that, and we can scroll up a little bit and click on books. This should be getting easy for you by now. And this page is going to be our affiliate page. So anytime someone clicks a book that Christina has read, it's going to go to Amazon, and Amazon's going to have a affiliate code
tracking
on it, and then Christina will get a commission. I'm just going to show you how to change the actual book covers, and later we're going to figure out how to do the affiliate parts. And I also think it's a really good business decision to put these books on here, because it shows that she's qualified to give advice because she's read all of this information. To edit the page, just click Edit with Elementor. And I'm going to show you some cool effects and some new things that you can do to make the books page really pop. So for this category, we can click on it and we can change the category title. Let's just put Mindset for Achievement. And to edit the book, just click on the Edit button, and we can click on Choose Image and upload files and select files, and we can upload a new file, a new book, and let's open it, and we can insert media. All right, now we have that new book right on there. If we click on Style and click on Hover, we can change how when we hover over the book, it'll do a little animation, or it'll turn a little lighter. So when we hover, let's say, let's make it more opaque by turning up the opacity. So it's going to be a little more see-through, 50% see-through, if we do that. Next, let's change the transition duration so it's a little bit slower, so it has a little bit more refined feel to it. We can also get rid of those, and under hover animation, we can say we want it to shrink or we want it to grow. That looks pretty cool. And maybe we want to copy this style to all of the books, because right now it's just one of the books. So we can go to copy by clicking the pencil and pressing copy, and then click another pencil on another book and paste style. So this is going to paste all of that book style to the different books. So we'll just do that for all of the books. And now we can see it has a cool effect. Next, we can change the book name by clicking on book name and putting in a different title, the same title as the book. And we can go to Get It Now. And this is where our Amazon affiliate link is going to be. It's actually going to be in all three places on the book, the title and the Get It Now. But we're just going to leave that blank for now because we're going to do the affiliate part a little later. So now we can press update and we can preview the changes and we can scroll down. And now when we hover over the books, it has a really cool effect. So that's super awesome. And it looks really polished. I really like that. That's cool. All right, so we're all done with the books page. The next page that we're going to edit is the contact page. And this one's a little bit different because we're going to actually be editing the contact form on the contact page. And it's different because the contact form is a short code. So we're going to be able to see what that is and how to control that. So let's close this tab right here. Let's go to the contact page. And before we edit the contact form, let's see how to edit this text over here. Should be pretty easy, and you should know how to do this by now. All right, so let's scroll down a little bit, and let's click on this text. Let's say this is where she lives. I don't actually want to put where she lives because this is the internet. And the phone number, and we can change all of that right here. I don't actually want to put her phone number out online. And her email, so we'd put her email in right here. Then of course we can change all of her social media links. So her Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is, we can put right here. So that's super easy. And we can go to style. And we can change the size of the social icons. And again, we can do that hover effect by making it a different color. Let's make it an orange. And when they hover over it, it'll change orange so that people know that it's a button, or green. We'll just keep it as green. And for hover animation, we can make it shrink or grow, or same thing like the books page. Let's put grow. That looks great. And now for the meat and potatoes, the contact form. Let's click on the edit button and we can see the short code over here, so we can't actually edit this contact form here. This short code is a code that activates another plugin that shows this contact form. And we can see it says WP Forms ID equals 8. So that's the ID of the contact form, because you can have a lot of different contact forms. For example, the Work With Me page has another contact form. So it needs that ID in there. Title equals false, so don't put a title. Description equals false, so don't add a description to the contact form. So that code displays a contact form, but how do we control that code? Let's go see how to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to update it to save all of our edits. Then we can go to our website.com/WP-admin to get back into the admin. And on the left side, we're going to see this WP Forms. So this is another plugin that we downloaded, that was downloaded automatically when we installed this website. And it's actually pretty awesome. So we can click on that and we can see these three different contact forms. We have the footer subscription form, the contact page form, the Work With Me page. We didn't go over how to change the Work With Me contact form because I wanted to do it here. But all you do is click on that and then you can change it right there. But right now we're changing the contact page form. So just go ahead and click on edit. Now we can see this visual builder for the contact form, which is really awesome. We can add all of these different things to it. And you can upgrade to the pro version if you want a whole bunch more options. But everything that we need is right here, so we don't need to do that. So let's just do the free version. So you can click on it and we can change the label of the first name if we want. We can say your name or keep it as first name. The format, do we want it to be simple? Do we want it to be first name, last name? It's kind of cool. Do we want it to be first name, middle name, last name? Not my favorite. Let's just keep it simple. We want to make it as simple as possible for people to fill out their information. Is the first name required? So if it is required, then it's going to not allow you to submit the form unless that's filled out. So yes, that's required. I want to know people's first name. The field size, is it small, medium, or large? Pretty understandable. Placeholder, does it have something in there before you even type? So a lot of forms do this. We don't need it, but a lot of forms do it. That's up to you. Do we want to hide the label or show the label? We want to show it because then people won't know what it is unless it has a placeholder. There's different layouts that we can choose from, but we're not going to mess with that. Next, we can go to last name and your email. For your email, it's definitely required. For confirmation email, sometimes people put in their email address wrong, so it's a good idea to confirm it twice. And as long as they're matching, it'll allow you to submit the form. If they're not matching, it'll say, hey, your emails aren't matching. Please make it right. I'm not going to enable that, I think. Let's just take the risk and not annoy people so much. For your message, we can change all that. We can go to advanced options and change the size of it. Maybe we want it to be small or large, but we'll just keep it as medium. For this field, if we click on it, we can see that there's different checkbox options, and we can change that, and it is required. You've got to know that you're loved, special, or resilient, or something else, or excellent. How about that? We can also add any field, so if we click on it, then that field will show up, and we can drag to reorder it. Let's say we want to add in their phone number here, and we can require that. We can go to advanced, and we can change all of that information also. All right, but we're not going to do that, so we're just going to delete that and press OK. And if we go to settings, we can get the different settings. So what's this contact form name? What's a description? The form CSS class, which is a little advanced. We might go over that though. The submit button, when it's submitted, it sends, but it takes a second, so it can say sending. We can enable or disable the anti-spam honeypot. For notifications, we can see all of the different notifications, and this will notify us when we get an email. So it's going to send us an email saying that they filled out this form, and here's all the information that they filled out. So this is where the admin email goes. You can change it to a different email. This will be your default email though, the one you signed up WordPress with. Email subject, so when it's alerting you that someone filled out the form, we want it to say their first name. We can also put in, if we wanted first name, filled out the form. So from, we definitely want that to be from their first name. And then from email, let's say it's at WordPress at yourwebsite.com. That's usually the thing to do. Reply to, who are we going to reply to? So we want to reply to their email, which was named your email. So that's not your email, that's actually their email. So for message, we want it just to be all of the fields. So all of the fields that they filled out, we want it in the message. So we get all of the information in our email. Next, let's click confirmation. This is the notification that they will get once they fill out the form and they've clicked submit. We can show them a message saying, thanks for contacting us. We will be in touch with you shortly. Or we can make it a different page and send them to a page that we make saying, thanks for contacting us, really big. So a thank you page, we can create one. Or we can redirect them to a URL. We can make them go to Google after they submit it. That'd be weird, but you can do it. I'm just going to make the confirmation type message because that's what most people do and it makes the most sense. So we can click save and we'll save all of that. And if we click on embed, we're going to see that short code that we're able to put into our website, and that form will show up. So you just copy that and you'd paste it into the form. So let's exit out of there, visit our site, go back to the contact page, and we can see the form right here. And if we fill it out, let's just put in, my name is Tyler, my last name is my email is ty@tyler.com. It's not really. It's tylermoore@gmail.com. And my message is, it is great, and I mandate that I am loved. And submit that, and it is sending. We see that confirmation. Thanks for contacting us. We will be in touch with you shortly. And now we can go to my email, and we can see if it's really sent there. So go to gmail.com, and then we can see it right here. It's sent from WordPress at happinesscompass.com. That's all right. And it has all the fields in here. My first name, last name, my email, or their email. It is great, and I mandate that I'm loved. And it's sent from Happiness Compass. And that all looks really cool and really nice. So that is the email that you will be receiving from your customers. And now we can exit out of there, and we are all done. So now we've learned how to edit pages really well. But what if we want to learn how to actually create a entirely new page? And of course we can do that, and it's super easy. To make a new page, let's go back into the dashboard by hovering over our website name and clicking on Dashboard. Then we can click on Pages, and we can see all of our pages, and we can click Add New. Let's exit out of here, and let's add a title. So this title is going to be Why Me? Basically, why choose me as a life coach? Under page attributes, we're going to select Elementor full width, and that will make it so that the Elementor page goes all the way to the sides instead of being boxed in. Then we can click Edit with Elementor, and we can begin creating our site. But this is a little bit terrifying, just looking at a blank canvas again. Of course, we can build it piece by piece like we did with the home page. And I did show you already how to create sections from scratch, but I usually don't like to do that because it takes so much time, and there's already pre-built things that you can add to this. So instead of clicking the plus, we're going to click the folder, and Elementor itself is going to give us a whole bunch of different options to choose from to import a page as a starting point. So we can scroll and look through all of these and see something that really integrates with our website really well, maybe this one, and click Insert, and just wait a little while for it to insert, and we can see that it imported all of those images and the pages, and it looks really, really great. We can click this button, and we can press Ctrl-Z to undo that, and click the folder, and now we can go to blocks. So blocks is like pages, but instead of the entire page, it gives you different sections. And I actually like this better because then you can mix and match the sections that you actually need together in order to build your website. So there's a whole bunch of different blocks, and we can choose different categories. And maybe we want a hero category, which is like the top of the website. And we can insert this one right here. And we can see that that looks pretty cool. We can go to this column up here, and we can delete it. And we can go to this section, and we can delete it. We can change the text right here. So maybe we'll put Why Me, and we'll center it. Then we can click on this menu, and we can drag in the text editor and go to Style. And let's make the text color white so that we can see it. And we can center that. And we can click on the Read More button. We can change that. You should be getting pretty good at this by now. Maybe we'll make it caps. And under link, we'll put contact. And we can select the contact page and center the whole thing. So that looks pretty awesome. Now we can click on the entire column and go to advanced and change the padding. So the padding is the spacing around it. And we can make it 0. Then we can go to the whole entire section. And for content width, we can change that right here. So the text doesn't go all the way to the side, because if it goes all the way to the side, it's kind of hard to read and it doesn't look as good. For minimum height, we can say that it'll be 85% of the screen or 100% of the screen or whatever we want. We can go back to style and we can choose another image if we want. Click on that. Let's go ahead and choose Christina again and insert media. And that looks really awesome. It looks like we totally customize it in any way that we want. We can go to background overlay and maybe make that a little bit lighter so she pops a little bit more. We can add in a shape divider at the bottom if we want. Maybe we'll make it a little bit wavy and change the height. So that looks pretty cool. Next, let's click on the folder again and let's add another section. Let's add a testimonial section and click on insert. And we can insert some testimonial. And instead of customer reviews, let's just do reviews. And we can go to style and typography and we can bring that down a little bit. And we can see all these really cool reviews here. Scroll down a little bit and click on the folder icon again, and we can go to call to action. Scroll down or up. Let's use this one right here. Press insert. And that looks pretty cool. We can change this right here. Type in get in touch. All right, good. Let's click on this section here and go to style, and we can change the color of the text so it pops a little bit more. Then we can go to this button section, and instead of purchase now, we'll put in contact now. Start typing in contact. That contact page is going to show up. We can click on it, and now that contact button will link there. Pretty awesome. Let's click on the entire section and go to style. And for background, we can click classic. And then we can change the color, and we can change the color right here. Maybe we want it to be a green. That looks a little crazy. We can make it lighter. Looking better, looking better. Or we can change the background type to gradient. So it'll start at green, and then I'll end at a darker green or a lighter green or a different green. For location, you can change that location. That's a very subtle effect, but it's kind of cool. We can see it. So now it's like one green to another green, and it's very sharp, and we can change that angle. Looking pretty trippy. All right, that looks pretty cool actually. I like it. We can click on the folder icon again by scrolling down and clicking on it. And we can go to, let's see, portfolio. That seems pretty good. Portfolio of our work. And we can click on insert, and that portfolio will insert. It's looking a little dark though, because they use all black and white pictures. So let's change the headline to gallery. Let's delete that right there. We don't need it. Let's go to style and typography and bring that down a little bit. That's a little bit too big. Let's click on the gallery, and we can see over here that there's 4 images in the gallery. Let's clear that and delete them. Goodbye. And let's add some images. All right, which ones? These are pretty cool. 1, 2, 3, and a 4. All right, so create and then insert, and now insert all of those images into the gallery, and that looks awesome. Now we can update that, and we can view our page. And now we have this awesome page. Let's close that. With our reviews and our get in touch looking awesome, and our gallery. So that's how you create a page from scratch, but also not from scratch, because that would take a lot of time. So of course you have complete control over it. You could build all of this from scratch if you wanted to, but why would you want to? So we created this Why Me page, but if we look up top at this navigation, we're not going to see a Why Me link. So how would you ever get to this page? We're going to save that for the next section, editing your navigation. To edit your navigation is super easy. All you have to do is click up here to customize, then click menus, and click on main menu. Then click add items, and we can see all of the different pages, and we can scroll down to that Why Me page and add it. And now that will add it to the menu, and we can see it up there. It says Why Me. We can click, hold, and drag and rearrange it. So now let's put it right after about, and we can see the order changes right here. We can also indent it under about, and that will make it a submenu under about. So when we hover over about, we can see Why Me. But I'm going to exit out of there and not save any of the changes because I don't actually want that Why Me page there. So that is how you edit the navigation menu. Pretty easy. The next thing that we're going to do is edit the footer. The footer is at the bottom like your feet, and this will show up on every page. So on this website, we have a custom footer. So to edit it, hover over your website and go to the dashboard, then go to Appearance and Header Footer Builder, and we're going to see our footer right here. Then we can click Edit with Elementor, and we can begin editing our footer. So I'm just going to edit this subscribe right here, delete that text. Then below it, I'm going to edit it also, and I'm just going to paste some text in. And we can see that it has all of this gap on the right side, and we don't want that, and that's probably because of the padding. So I'm going to go to Advanced and see that there is a 200 margin. I'm just going to put 100 so it looks a lot better. And below it, there's a space right here, so I'm going to edit the spacer and delete it. Next, we're going to see all these social media links, and of course you can change this. We've already done this, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit, and we can check it right here. All right, that looks really great. We can also add a different section. Let's add another section here. Go to the entire section, go to Style, go to Classic, and change the color. That looks pretty good. Next, go to Advanced and go to Padding, and let's add some padding to it so it's a little bit bigger. 20 at the top and 20 at the bottom. We can edit this and then click, hold, and drag it down. Now we can click on the pencil icon to edit and delete. If you wanted to add your own, you can of course drag in a title, go to Style, make it white, Typography, change the font size to 16, go to Content and center it. Then we can start typing in her copyright info right here. Happiness Compass, copyright 2019, all rights reserved. Then we can click on the whole section and go to Style and go to Border, and we can make it a solid. For the border width, we can make it 1 at the top, and we can change that color to white so it gives a little bit of separation, but make it a little more see-through so a lot of that background color shows. All right, that's looking really awesome. If we click on this form, again, it's that WP Forms, and I already showed you in the contact section how to edit that. So we don't need to do that. We can update that, and we can view our website, and we are all done with the footer. The next thing that we're going to do is create our logo. You can, of course, keep your logo just like this. It looks great, and it's fine. But I'm going to show you how to make your own. To do that, let's open up a new tab and go to logomaker.com. That's logomaker.com. There's no E in there. And we can exit out of this video because I'm going to show you how it works. And we can search for something. Let's search for something that is relevant, maybe nature. And we can click on the different categories. And we can see all of the different nature icons. I think this website has over 1 million different icons. We can click on this one because it looks like it's a hiking one. Of course, you're going to spend more time creating something even better, but this is just an example. So we can resize it right here. We can click, hold, and we can drag it. We can rotate it. That looks pretty good. We can flip it horizontally by right-clicking and flipping, or flip vertically. We can undo by pressing Control Z if you're on a PC or Command Z if you're on a Mac. And we can add this type text tool. So let's click on the text tool and let's type in her name, Happiness Compass. We can change the color by just dragging this around over here. And we can click, hold, and drag it to the center if we want. We can make this one smaller, click, hold, and drag, line it all up. That looks pretty good. And just for fun, we can add a shape. So let's add a square. And let's make that square over here. Let's right click and send to the back. And now let's make that square bigger. So let's make it a rectangle. I do know my shapes. Most of them at least. Some of them. All right, so let's change the height of it. That's looking cool. And we can change the color over here. We can make it lighter. And that looks okay. That looks okay. I mean, for a few seconds, I guess. All right, we're going to right click and we're going to delete that. And we're going to delete that. We just need this icon right here. I'm going to make it bigger. And we're going to drag it to the center. And we're going to click this color right here to change the color. We'll make it like this green color. And we can save the logo. So just click save. And the logo is now saved. No thanks. We'll download it right here. That tiny little button. Exit out of there. It's downloaded to our computer. And we are all done creating the logo. But just because we've created the logo doesn't mean the logo is in our website. So how do we get that logo into our website? Well, it's super simple. All we have to do is click on Customize. And we can click on Layout and then Header. Then we can click Site Identity. Then we can change the logo instead of removing it and upload files and select files. Then we can choose our logo that we just downloaded and press open. It's going to upload the logo and we can select the logo and we can skip cropping because we don't need to crop the logo. We don't need to cut it. And we're going to see that logo up here. And we can click display site title or don't display site title to remove the title or show it. And we can make that inline logo of the site or uncheck it and it'll go above it. Let's make it inline. And for site icon, that's this icon up here. So it's called a fave icon. So when people have tabs open, a whole bunch of tabs, they can identify your site by this little icon up here. So let's select that image and let's select the logo and press select and then don't crop, and we can see that little icon up here, a little preview of it. Skip cropping and we're going to see it up here. So now we have the logo and the site icon up here. It's not the best logo in my opinion, but it's looking pretty good, and that was just for demonstration purposes. All right, so we're going to publish that. And we're going to exit out of there. And that is how you insert your logo. Anytime someone clicks on the logo, they're going to be taken back to the home page. So congratulations, we are all done with this section of creating our basic website. The next entire section that we're going to do is creating our blog. So for this part right here, we're going to edit our blog page. Our blog page has a bunch of blog posts on it. So we're going to change the way that those blog posts are displayed. But first, before we do that, I want to get rid of this logo right here. I don't really like it. So I'm just going to click on Customize. Then I'm going to click Layout. And then Header. And then Site Identity. And I'm going to remove this logo. All right, so it's just going to be her text up here. And I like that better. Then I'm going to click Publish. And exit out of there. All right, once we do that, we're going to change the way that the blog looks. So let's just go ahead and click on blog. And right now, this is the way that the blog looks. And if we click on edit page, we can change that. So just click on that. And we're clicking on this instead of edit with Elementor because this blog page wasn't built with Elementor. It was built with a new Gutenberg editor with another plugin. And that plugin's called Ultimate Add-ons for Gutenberg. And what that plugin does is it gives you a whole bunch of more options to edit the way that your blog is displayed on the blog page. So we can see this is what the blog looks like, and if we click on it, we can go over to the right side and we can change the background. It can go from gradient just to a color, or back to a gradient, which will do one color to the next color. We can make that second color green and the first color blue, and we can see how it changes. That looks pretty cool. We can undo that by pressing Control Z or Command Z if you're on a Mac. We can change the blog heading to anything we want. We could put in articles. I'm just going to keep it blog though. We can change how big the heading is by putting in H1. H1 is the biggest and H6 is the smallest. We can text align it. To the left or center is usually what most people do. We can add a new block by pressing this plus button and add any of these blocks right here. We can put in a paragraph and type, "This is a blog page, ... We can click this button and remove the block. We can click on the background again, and it's asking what post types. Is it our posts? Is it some pages? Is it media? We're going to keep it as our blog posts because we want our blog post to show up there. What categories? Maybe we have different categories in our blog and we have a whole bunch of blog pages with different categories, and we only want the books categories or the nature category or the self-help category to show right here. Here's where you can choose the categories. We can make it all categories. Just like that. Number of items. How many blog posts do you want to show? Maybe we want to show 100 items. How many columns are there? Are there 3? Are there 4? Remember, it's going to look a little bit different because the screen is much wider when you're on the actual blog page. How should the images show up? Should we turn them off or turn them on? The content. What should be in the content? Should we show the author or hide the author? Should we show or hide the date? Should we show or hide the comments? How many comments there are? What about the description or the excerpt? Should we show that? How long should it be? There's so many different options to choose from here. You can really customize it in any way that you want and make a really cool blog page. For the read more link, we can turn that off or we can turn that on. We can open up the link in a new tab so that when someone clicks on the article, it opens up in a new tab rather than opening up in the same tab. I don't really recommend that, but you can do it. For the read more button, you can put learn more instead of read more, but that would be weird. So I'm just going to put read more. For typography, what do we want the font size to look like? Want it to be bigger or smaller or whatever you want. We can reset it by clicking on that button. For the button border, do you want it to be solid? How wide and thick do you want it to be? Do you want the button to have rounded corners? How much padding around it should it be? We can make it a little bit up and then put some padding on the side so it actually looks good instead of bad. That looks kind of cool, but not that cool. So let's reset all of that. For the typography, what do we want that to look like? Maybe we want the title tag to be an H2 so it's a little bit bigger, or an H4 so it's a little smaller, or we can just keep it as an H3. We can change the font size of it. The meta is this area over here, so like the date and who wrote it. How big or small do we want that to be? The excerpt or the short description, we can change that. We can make it bigger or smaller or anything that we want. We can almost change anything. For the font weight, it's how bold it is. Maybe we want it to be a little bit lighter, or maybe we want it to be a little bit bolder. For the colors, we can change all of the colors, the title colors, the background colors. That might look cool. A green. We can also do a custom color for the title. can make that white or red or orange or black. We can make the meta colors orange or blue or white or black. For the excerpt color, we can make that blue or black or any color we want. For the spacing, it's how much spacing is there. So for the row gap, that's over here. And we can see, we can make it more or less. For the column gap, we can make that more or less, and that'll bring the articles closer from below or further. Content padding is the padding inside. So we can make that none, or we can make that a lot. We can change the content padding for the mobile website. The title spacing, we can change that. The meta spacing, I mean, there's just endless options to change. All right, let's update that. And let's view our page. And we can see all of those changes right here. But what if you want to make a blog from scratch? This website, when we imported it, already came with a blog. But what if you want your own blog page and you want to make it in the way that you want to make it, and you want to make it not from an imported page, but absolutely from scratch? Well, this is how you do it. You would hover over your website name and go to the dashboard, and we need to make a new page before we can do anything. So let's make a new pages by going to pages, and we can click add new. And let's add a new blog page. So this isn't going to be a blog post. This isn't all of your posts. This is the page that holds all of your blog posts. So I'm just going to name this blog 2. If you don't already have a blog on your website, you probably just name it blog, but we already have a blog page on our website. So blog 2, and we're going to publish that, and we can view the page, and we can see that this is just a regular page. So how do we make it a blog page? Well, we can go back to the dashboard and go to settings, then go to reading, and it's going to say under reading settings, what is your post page? So what is your blog page, basically? And we're going to say that is the blog 2. And then it's going to give you some other options like how many blog posts do you want to show at most, and is it visible to the search engines? I recommend that. So keep it unchecked. Then click Save Changes and go back to our pages and find our blog 2. And now we can view the page. And now we can see all of our blog posts are on that page because we set it as our blog page or our post page. So that's how you do it from scratch without using Gutenberg or the Ultimate Add-ons for Gutenberg plugin. All right, but how do we edit this page? We can edit it in the customizer. So click on Customize, and we can go to Layout, and we can go to Sidebar, and under our blog post archives, we can make a sidebar there. So let's say we want it to have a left sidebar. And a lot of people will do this because they want to be selling, their book on the side, or they have some sort of affiliate product that they want on the side, or an introduction that says, "Hi, this is me." Or maybe they want a search on the side or some categories. So let's put in a left sidebar, or you could put in a right sidebar. And we can preview that by clicking on that. And that's looking pretty good, actually. I kind of like that. We can show the controls again, and we can go back. And now we can click on Blog and Blog Archive. So now here's where we can control all of those things again, but it's just another way of doing it. We can show the full content of the blog, so it's actually going to show the entire post, which I don't know if I recommend it. I think it's better if people just can click on it and then read the entire thing, but it looks kind of cool. Let's just keep it on excerpt, and we can see the content is summarized. The first part of the content is shown. Then we can show or hide the featured image, and we can show it again. We can show and hide the title. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can. And show it again. For the meta content, like the comments category and author, you can show and hide that. You can also rearrange things by clicking, holding, and dragging the title and blog. And that looks pretty cool. And we can rearrange it again and put it at the bottom. And for the blog meta, we can hide the comments. So if anyone comments, it would show up how many people commented right here. We can hide the categories or show the category. And of course, we can hide or show the author, the publish date, the tags, and all of that. For blog content width, we can make it less wide or more wide. Or we could just put in a custom value and keep it at 1,000. Then we can see what that looks like. Pretty cool. We can go back and back again. Keep on going back, back, back. Then we can go to typography and go to blog, and we can change what the font looks like, or at least the font size. We could change that to 32, or go back to 40, or keep it at 36. And all of this on the right side here. Let's see how we can change that. We can keep on going back and back. And we can go to widgets. And for the main sidebar, these are the main sidebar widgets. We can click, hold, and rearrange. And we can see it reflected on the side right there. We can also remove anything that we want, like recent comments. And we can click on the edit button and we can remove that there. And we can add widgets. So maybe we want something here. We can do all of these. We can add pages or products or searches or images or a calendar. Maybe that'd be cool. All right, now we got a nice little calendar on the side of our website. I don't know why. Don't ask me, because it's cool. People need to know the date, I guess. We could add a title, or we could just delete it. All right, we can publish that, and we can exit out of there. And now we have a nice sidebar. We can go back into our dashboard, and we can go to pages, and we're actually going to put that blog 2 in the trash because we're not really going to use it. We already have a blog. And select it and choose delete permanently and apply. All right, so that's how you create a blog page and edit all the settings to your likings. Now we can go back and visit our website, and we can look at our blog. And in the next section, we're going to edit the way the blog posts look. So to do that, let's click on one of the blog pages, and we can see that it looks like this right now. But we can go to Customize, click on Layout, click on Sidebar, and Blog Post, it says no sidebar. We can make it have a left sidebar or a right sidebar, just like we can do on the blog page, and we can preview that. So this is when someone clicks into a post, they're going to see this. All right, or we can do no sidebar, and we can go back, and now we can click on blog, and this is going to be, instead of the blog archive, the single post. So click on that, and now we can take away the featured image, although I wouldn't recommend it. Images are cool. People like images. So we're going to show that again. And for title, we can make sure that goes away, but I don't know why you'd want to do that again. Or we can show it. I recommend keeping it for sure. For comments, we can get rid of that. That'll show how many comments there are if there is a comment. We can get rid of the category, or we can get rid of the author. We can show the publish date, which might be cool, or we can hide it. How much width do we want it to have? We can make it a lot more narrow, which sometimes is cool because it's easy to read, or we can make it wide. All right, and we can go back and back again and back one more time. We can go to typography, and we can go to blog, and we can go to the single posts, and we can change the font size of the title. All right, we can make it bigger or smaller, and we can click on publish. And that's how you change your actual blog post and what it looks like. Pretty simple stuff. Tons of settings that you can mess with to make it exactly the way that you want. The next thing that we're going to do is delete our posts. So right now we have a whole bunch of blog posts that were imported when we imported this website, but they're just made up, so let's delete them. To do that, let's go back into the dashboard and let's click on posts. Then we can mark off this button right here to check off all of them, and then we can move it to trash. And we can apply. Now all of those posts are deleted, and we can go to trash. We can select all of them and we can delete them permanently and apply. So that's how you delete all the posts. Pretty simple. The next thing that we're going to do is add new posts and add new post categories. So if you want to have a blog on your website, this is where you would add all of the blog content. And we're going to be adding it with WordPress's new Gutenberg editor instead of Elementor because I feel like the Gutenberg editor is just a lot more structured. The Gutenberg editor is the editor that is actually built into WordPress. Elementor is a plugin. To add a new post, if you're not already in the post section, click on post, then click add new. Then we can add a title just like we did with pages. I'm going to call this 2018 in review because this is one of Christina's actual blog posts. All right, and it's going to tell me to start writing. I'm just going to paste in some content that I already have that she wrote. And we can click on this button right here and we can insert after, and we can add in a heading. Type in a heading right here, and we'll paste in some more content. Click this little menu button right here and insert after. Click on the plus, add another heading. Type out another heading. Go to layout elements, and let's add some columns. Paste in some content. Click the add block button. Let's put an image in here and upload an image. Go to the desktop. Let's find that image. Open that up. We'll wait for that image to load and we will paste in some other content. Click the menu button and insert after so we can insert a new block after. Click on the plus button and add a heading. This should all be getting pretty easy for you. Paste in some content. Maybe right here, click on it and click on this button to transform it. And maybe we'll make this a verse. It's kind of cool. We can transform it back into a paragraph if we want, or we can make it a quote. We can click this section here and insert after to add another block. Click on this plus button, put in a heading, type some content, add a new block. Let's make a list, an ordered list for 1, 2, 3. Type out some list questions. All right, now we have all of that done. So that's pretty cool. Click on document and go to categories. And if we want, we can add a new category so that when someone goes to our website, maybe they only want self-help advice, so they can click on the self-help category. So just click add new and we can add categories there. Tags are similar to categories where you can add in some tags and people can click on those tags and they can see all of those posts from those tags. We can set a featured image right here, which is a good idea because it'll give us some interesting image to look at. And we can upload files and select files. And this should all start to become very familiar to you. So we can click on some image and open it up. And we can select image. And that will be our featured image. All right, so for excerpt on your blog page, this is the preview of what is written. If you don't have something here, then it'll automatically generate one from you just by taking the first couple sentences and making that the excerpt. All right, under discussion, you can either allow comments or allow pingbacks and trackbacks. Pingbacks and trackbacks I feel like are getting a little outdated, but they allow you to see when other bloggers are talking about you. And we can click that on or off. All right, so now we can publish that, and we are going to publish it. And now we can view our posts, or we can view it here. So just click on that. And now we have this featured image at the top, which looks really cool. And we see all of this information with that image right there. And it looks pretty good. I'm liking the way it was laid out. That looks cool. And people can leave a comment and you can comment back and start talking with people. We can see right here that the category is uncategorized. So how do we add a category? I went over it briefly, but let's go a little bit more in depth in how to do that. Let's just go up into the dashboard and let's go to posts and let's click categories. All right, so we can see that we have a news category here and we can delete that because that was added. And we can add a category. I'm just going to put in self-help. Here's the category slug. It will generate automatically for you. And it has no parent, so it's not a subcategory of any other category. Description, we don't need to fill in, so we can click on add new category. All right, so we have the self-help category. Let's add another one. Let's add nature. Maybe we have a bunch of nature blog posts. Let's add that new category. All right, now we have nature. Now we have books, a books category for all of her books that she's read and wants to review and summarize. So now we have a books category. All right, so we have all those categories. Let's go back to all posts and let's click on 2018 in review, and we can click on quick edit instead of just regular edit. And instead of it being uncategorized, we can click on books or nature or self-help or whatever we want. Or we can edit it here. So we can click here to edit it and go back to categories, and we should see that books, nature, and self-help. Let's just make it self-help and unmark uncategorized because it's not uncategorized anymore. And let's update. All right, it's all done updating, and let's view our posts. And we can see that that is now in the self-help section. But how can people get to the self-help section if that's everything that they want to read? So they just want to read self-help blog posts. How do we make that happen? One of the ways is we can add that category to the menu. So let's see how to do that. Hover over your website name and go to menus. And we want to add it right under where this blog is. And if we move our mouse down a little bit, we can see categories. And we can see that self-help category. Or we can view all, and we can see all of these categories. So we can just select it, and then we can click add to menu. It'll add after everything, so you have to click, hold, and drag it, and then indent it under blog so that it's a sub-menu under blog. Now we can save our menu. We can visit our website, and then we see blog, and we can see all the self-help posts if we click on that. If we had more posts, we would see more of them on this page. So it's just going to give us a little excerpt, and then it's going to tell us to read more. If there is more blogs, then we would see them under right here. So that's it. That's how you add categories to your website, and that's how you put it in the menu so that people can actually navigate to it. The next thing that we're going to do is add MailChimp to our website. MailChimp is the thing that's going to allow people to subscribe. That way you can collect everyone's emails and market to them through email marketing. A lot of people say that email marketing is more powerful than social media marketing, so more powerful than Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, and you get a way better return on your money. So let's see how to do that. But before we do that, I want to get rid of this self-help submenu right here. So I'm going to hover over the name and then go to menus. And then I'm going to scroll down and go to right here and remove it. Then I can save menu. All right, once we're done with that, we can go and visit our site. And if we scroll down all the way to the bottom, we're going to see this form right here, but this is really a WordPress form. This isn't a MailChimp form. So when someone fills out this form, all it's going to do is email you and let you know that someone filled out the form. It's not necessarily going to capture their name in an email marketing tool so that you can email them over and over again and bulk email people and set autoresponders and drip campaigns and everything like that. So we actually want to change this into a MailChimp form instead of this form. So let's go back into our dashboard and let's go to Appearance and Header and Footer Builder so that we can control that footer, and then we can edit it with Elementor. All right, so now we have control to edit this footer, and if we see right here by clicking on the pencil, on the left side it says WP Forms, blah, blah, blah. So this is just a WordPress WP Forms form. Let's open up a new tab and let's go to MailChimp.com. And this is one of my favorite email marketing tools, and one of the biggest reasons is because it's free up to 2,000 people. So if you want to use another email marketing program after 2,000 people, you can just export all the people out and import it somewhere else. But just to start off, it's super good to learn on something that's free instead of having to pay money and sign up for it. All right, now we're going to log in. I'm not going to show you how to sign up because, well, you should know how to sign up for things. So we're just going to log in, and I already have Christina's username and password, so I'm just going to log in. All right, and now we are logged in. The first thing that you want to do when you log in is to create a list. So when someone signs up on that footer, that will go to a certain list rather than maybe someone signs up for, a free chapter of your book. That would go on to another list and you would send them another set of emails. So click on Audience, and under Manage Audience, we can view audiences. And we can see that we have an audience here with 11 contacts and 11 subscribers, and how many of them were opened and how many of them were clicked. So this is the list that she already started. I'm going to show you how to make a new list by clicking on Create Audience. So create an audience and then give it an audience name. So I'll just call it Happiness Compass Newsletter, and I'll put the default from address at hello@tyler.com, even though it's really going to be her email address. And we'll say it's from Tyler Moore, even though we're going to change it and it's going to be hers. This is the reminder of how people signed up. So it's a good idea to put this in here because you don't want any of your mails to be marked as spam. So I'm just going to put you're receiving this email because you opted in at our website, happinesscompass.com. All right, for form settings, do we want to enable double opt-in, which sends contacts an opt-in confirmation email when they subscribe to your audience? So once someone subscribes, it would send them an opt-in. So an additional opt-in email that says, are you sure you want to subscribe? We can put that on or off, and we can enable GDPR fields. And do we want a summary of daily notifications sent to our email? Maybe we do. And then we would click Save. All right, but I'm not going to save it because she already has an audience. So we're just going to go to under Manage Audience, View Audiences, and she has an audience right here. So she has a list of people. And here's the list of people, and we can add to this list by clicking on Sign Up Forms. So just click on that, and this is going to be the place where we're able to generate the code to paste in that form. So under Form Builder, let's select that one. And let's start building our form. So if we scroll down, we can see all the fields like first name, last name, email, and we can click hold and rearrange it if we want. And we can add anything over here like a number, and that will add it. We can change the field label by putting in phone number if we want. So because this field was labeled number, it'll only accept a phone number. We can mark that field off as required or not required, and then we can save the field. We can delete it by clicking on the minus and then typing in delete. And it'll delete all of the data in your list too, so be careful about deleting things. All right, she has this checkbox under here that says I want to subscribe because, and then different options. And that was the field type checkboxes. So you just click on that to add it, and then you would add or subtract options right here. We can add an option by just clicking on add an option. And then we can save the field. and that option is added. We can of course subtract it and then type in delete again and press delete to delete that option. All right, that looks good. We don't need to save that because she had it just like she wanted it. We can embed the form by going to embedded forms and clicking on select, and we can preview it right here. This is what it will look like. So we can copy and paste this HTML into our website. We don't need to know exactly what it does, but I guess you could learn if you wanted. So I'm just going to copy it and then go back to our website, and we're going to delete this right here. So just go to the pencil and click on delete. Under search widget, we're going to search for HTML because we're pasting in HTML code. So just the first one is great. And we can paste in all of that code right there by right clicking and pasting, or Control or Command V. But now we can see that we have a little problem, and that is that this form is white in the background and it doesn't really match the style of our website. So it looks okay, and it's fine just to keep it like that if you don't want to really dive deep into this next section. But I want the website for Christina to be perfect, and you might want your website to be perfect also. So this is going to get a little bit advanced, but I think that you can follow along. I'm going to make it in a way where the beginner can follow along and you'll learn something really cool. So we're going to learn a little bit of HTML and a little bit of CSS. HTML can be thought of as the bones of your website. So like your bones, it's like the structure of your website. The CSS is the design, or if the HTML was the bones, then the CSS would be the clothing, how everything looks. So the HTML would control things like the subscribe up here. It would just say subscribe, or the buttons or the forms. But the way that it looks, for instance, this white background would be controlled with CSS. Or for instance, the font size would be controlled by CSS. Or for instance, the color of the button would be with CSS, but the button itself would be HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, which sounds super nerdy, and CSS stands for Cascade Style Sheet. So it really is the style of the website. Fun fact, it's called Cascade Style Sheet because everything cascades on each other. So any style that goes after the previous one, if it's the same style, it would overwrite it. And I'll show you what that means in just a second. But first, let's edit the HTML. So we have this H2, and this is just heading 2. If you remember when we were making our blog, we had an H2, or when we were making our website, we had a heading 2. Well, this is the code that those visual website builders generate for you. So we can see it right here, and anything between the first H2 and the last H2 is what it affects. So we can just delete that because I don't want a heading there. So that was us deleting HTML. And here it says we recommend moving this block to the head of the website. So we're going to move this to a different part in order to separate out our CSS and our HTML. That's usually the way to do it. You don't want to intermingle HTML and CSS, even though we can have it all show up in the same place. But ideally, we want to have our HTML in one place and our CSS in another place. So from the style up here to the style down here, that's where all the CSS is. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy all of the CSS in between the two styles. Well, actually not all of it except for the comments. And you can see the comments are started by a / star sign, and they're ended by another star sign, then /. So we're just going to cut it out, and then we're going to delete the style to style. And now you can see on the right side what all of that CSS styling did. And we can see that it changed the color, and it changed the background, and it did a lot of things. So this is all of the form without the CSS. It still has some CSS that's inherited from the website itself, but we're not really going to go into that. If you wanted to change some of the styling without doing CSS, You can click on this entire column here, and you can go to Style, and you can go to Typography, and under any of these, you can change the style. So like that, what Elementor is doing for you right here, it's actually adding the CSS for you, but it's doing it in a visual way, probably a much better way. But it's still important to know how all of it works. And we can change all of this right here, but I'm gonna clear it out because I want you guys to learn how to do it manually, just so that you know, and so that you can have finer control over your website. So we can click on Update, and we can update all of that, and then we can preview our changes. And we can see that the form, let's exit out of here, looks absolutely terrible. But if we go to Customize, and remember that we copied the CSS style, then we go to Additional CSS. The Astra people have already added some CSS here, we can see on the left side, and we can add in our own by pasting that CSS. So there we go, we've pasted that CSS. It looks sort of jumbled. The one on top looks a lot better. So we can sort of organize it a little bit better. We can add the right spacing, and we can see right here every CSS statement starts off with what it controls, like the background, and then a value on the right. And it's ended by a semicolon. So for this background, we can change it to red, which is scary. So let's delete that and delete clear left, and we can delete the font. So we delete everything. If you can see the # MC underscore embed underscore sign up, and then in between the braces is where all of the statements go. So now we can start typing in the statements here. So we can type in font size, 14 px, which stands for pixels, and then a semicolon. So that's one statement. So anything inside the MC embed sign up, which is this whole sign up on the right side, that would control. We can do color, white, semicolon, and that will make it all white. We can hide the controls and we can see that. And we can do all of that manually, and you can look up on Google CSS how to change color and it'll tell you. You don't need to memorize every single thing, you just need to know how it works. All right, but how will we change the subscribe button? Let's go ahead and publish that. Let's open up a new tab, and let's go to happinesscompass.com or wherever your website is. Scroll down, and there's an even better way to control your CSS in a much easier way. And for this, we're using the browser Google Chrome, which I recommend anyways. It has some developer tools already with it in every single version of Google Chrome. Well, maybe not the mobile version, but every single desktop version that will allow you to more easily change the CSS. So we can right click and go to inspect for the button, and it will open up this crazy looking thing. So we can see it has a class button, and that's right here. So it does the MC embed sign up dot button. So that means it's controlling not only what's in the form, but also just the button inside the form. And then we have the background color here, and we can change it right here. We can change it to blue or green or whatever. They make it very easy. It's almost a visual thing, but you have control over everything. So border radius, and we did this visually with Elementor, so we can put in 25px, but now we can do it by hand coding it. All right, and we have all of these different options. For color, we can change the color, and that looks pretty good. And now what we can do is we can just highlight everything and copy it, Control or Command C. So one thing to know is that we're copying it because this isn't actually on your website. You can do this to any website and it doesn't affect the website. It just affects how you are viewing the website. So let's copy that right here, and we're gonna paste that in. Then we can add the braces, and then we can put all of the statements inside there. So we only need to copy actually the statements that we changed. So we don't need to copy all of them, just the ones that we changed, because the ones that we didn't change, it's going to be like that anyways. So just copy the ones that you changed and we can paste it in there. And remember I told you it's called Cascade Style Sheet. So sometimes in the theme, the CSS will override this CSS. So we're not seeing any changes here because there must be something within Elementor or something within the theme that said this button background color is another color after our statement right here. So the one way to get around that is by putting not important. So if after all of this color right here, this hex code, if we put exclamation point important, which means not important, that means everything else is not important. Just listen to this. And we can delete this right here because that was already there. And for border radius, we can do the same thing. We could put everything after this is not important, so override any of the settings. All right, and that will round it right there. If we click on this :HOV, it's going to change the hover state. So we can click on it, and that will make it the hover, and we can change the color here. We're going to change it to orange, and we can just copy all of that, and we can paste that. And if we read the CSS, we can see that it's going to be MC embed sign up button hover. So it's only going to affect the hover of the button inside of the sign up form. So that's getting very specific. And we're going to put a not important on this too, just for good measure, to make sure that this CSS setting overrides anything else. And now we can see that that works. We're going to publish that, and let's exit out of there and exit out of here. And let's refresh this page, and we can see that our changes are saved. All right, let's exit out of there. And if we fill out this form right here, let's put in Tyler Moore with the email hello@tyler.com. And my reason for subscribing, I think it's relatable and subscribe. And it says, thank you for subscribing. Pretty cool. Now, if we open up a new tab and go back into MailChimp, and then go to our dashboard and go to our audience, we can see that we have one new contact. And you can view the contact, and you can see me right here. And we can see hello@Tyler, and we can see my name, and I want to subscribe because of whatever. And we can see where it came from. It came from the embed form. And there's a whole bunch of things that you can do in MailChimp. I'm not going to get super into it, but you can do automated mailings. You can sort people into different groups. You can get reports. So many different things. And it's free, so that's good. All right, let's exit out of there. And this is really bothering me, this down here, where it's like so close to the words. Let's use some CSS to fix that too. I should have done it when I was editing, but this is just going to annoy me. So let's go and highlight where we want to edit, right click and inspect. Scroll down a little bit so that we can see it. And we can see it right here. It's too close. The box is too close. And we can just hover over any of the different sections, and we can click on it to see what we want to change. So here it is right here. And so you can go to a new line by clicking on something and then pressing tab, or just clicking on it and it'll add a new line. And we want to change the margin. Remember when we changed the margin in Elementor? Well, it's like the same thing here. So margin, press tab, and I'll add that colon for you. And then let's do 10px. So, all right, we have done that. We can copy all of that, and that looks much better. Now I won't have anxiety every time I look at the website. And let's click on customize and go to that additional CSS, because remember, it's not saved on our website when we just do it with the Google Chrome. So we need to actually save it to our website, and we can look at it right here. We can see that it didn't really save. It's only saved when we actually save it to our website. So additional CSS, and we can paste that in. And now you're on your way to becoming a web developer. All right, then we can click on publish and exit out of there. And we are all done adding the MailChimp form and editing the CSS. And even if you didn't understand it all, I think you're getting a grasp of what Elementor is doing in the background, and you have a grasp of how HTML and CSS work. So we are all done with the blog section. Now you have all of the tools that you need to know in order to create a really great blog. The next thing that we're going to do is the shopping cart section. So how do we take payments on our website, and how do we edit all of the settings that we need to edit in order to really control the shopping cart? The first thing that we're going to do is just go over all of the general WooCommerce settings. If you don't see any of these settings, then you need to download the WooCommerce plugin. But since we imported the website, it also imported the WooCommerce plugin. So in order to edit all of the settings, just hover over your website and go to the dashboard. All right, once we're into the dashboard, you can click on WooCommerce and it'll take you to the orders page, and we can see all of our orders right here. We can go to the coupons page and we can add a coupon. We can create our first coupon. So maybe now that you have MailChimp installed, you can email all of your subscribers a coupon and give them 10% off or $5 off or free shipping or whatever you want. With reports, you can see all of your sales in a nice graph. So you can see how many sales you got that day or that week or that month or for the entire year. We can click on customers and we can see all of the customers for that time period. And we can see our stock, see if any item is low in stock. That doesn't really apply for this website, but it does apply on most websites, I think. We can go to our settings and we can fill out all of this information. For country and state, I'm just going to put United States. And I live in California, so I'm going to put that. Selling locations, maybe I don't want to sell to all countries. Maybe I want to sell to specific countries or exclude certain countries. Maybe we don't sell to North Korea. You could do the same thing for shipping locations. This is a section where we enable coupons or disable coupons. For our currency, I want to change it from pounds to US dollars. So we could just start typing here United States dollars. All right, that all makes sense. Press Save Changes, and that's saved. For products, it's going to ask us where is our shop page. So we could make any of the pages the shop page, and that will overwrite all of the settings, and that will become our shopping cart page. We're just going to keep it on /shop. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense because we have our shop on actually a Work With Me page, but I'll show you how that shop works in just a second. But what we can do is we can set a page to the shopping cart page, or we can add in some short codes in order for the shopping cart page to show up on whatever page that we want. And that's what we did with the Work With Me page. We can redirect to the cart after successful addition. So when someone adds something to the cart, we can have it just redirect so they can start checking out instead of just a message that says this was added to the cart. We can enable or disable product reviews. We can show verified owners on the label of the customer reviews. And we can enable star ratings on reviews. We have so many different options. You can control almost anything. So we can control everything with shipping. We can add or delete payments. So payment options. And we're going to do that later. For the accounts and privacy, we can allow customers to place an order without an account, or we can force them to make an account in order to place orders. I recommend you letting guests place an order without an account because why make them go through more things in order to give you money? And we can allow customers to log into an existing account during checkout. We can allow account creation. We can select a privacy policy page. We don't have one yet, but we probably should. And there's so many different options. For emails, I'm just going to press leave because we don't need to save that. This is where it's going to notify us on which email that things happen. So when we get a new order, it's going to email me currently. We're going to change that over to Christina, obviously. When someone cancels or failed or the order's on hold, it's going to email either me, or for the processing order, it's going to email the customer. For a completed order, it's going to email the customer. For a refunded order, it's going to email the customer. So this is where we control where all of the emails happen. The email sender options, it's like where is it from and what's the from address? Whose email does it show when it actually emails the customer? For the email template, this will show us what the email is going to actually look like. So we can click here to preview what the email is going to look like. And right now, this is what the email looks like. So we're going to be able to change all of that, the colors and everything like that, in order to have her colors. So for base color, we can change that. And let's get rid of that extra pound sign. And we can save changes. Now we can refresh this and we can see that the base color has changed, and now that goes along with her color scheme a lot better. For the advanced section, we can see the cart page and where that is. I don't really recommend changing this too much. I mean, you can, but not really recommended. The checkout page and the My Account page and the terms and conditions. We can also force secure checkout, but we're going to do that later. I'm going to show you that later. And we can see up here that it's not secure, and I'm going to show you how to make it secure in just a little while. All right, and there are more advanced features down here that you don't really need to worry about, at least not yet. So that's the overview of the WooCommerce settings. It's pretty organized, and I feel like it gives you a really fine control over how your shopping cart can be. The next thing that we're going to do is add our products and categories, or in this case, we're going to be adding her coaching packages. But maybe in your case, you have real products, or maybe in your case, you have other services, or maybe in your case, you have digital downloads like PDFs that you're selling. So how do we add products? It's super easy. We can go over here and click on products, and we can see we have all of these products already imported, but let's add products from scratch. So we're going to click on this button to select all of them, and then we're going to move to trash and click apply. Once that's done, it's going to delete all of the products, and then we can go to the trash and we can select them all and we can delete permanently. Apply. And you can say bye-bye to all of those products. Then under products, we're going to click add new. And now we can add her coaching packages, but you can, of course, add any of the products that you want. It doesn't need to be coaching packages. It can be physical products. So I'm going to call this the base camp. And if we scroll down a little bit, we can see that there is a price here. So I'm just going to enter in 150. And we can enable or disable reviews right here. And if we scroll down, we're going to enter in a product short description. This is the description on top, strangely enough. The top description is the long description. So the one above this is the long one, and this one is the short description, but this shows on the top. Super weird. So I'm just going to type in some stuff here, and I'm going to set my product image. And I'm going to upload files and select files. And I'm going to select a file that I think is good, an image that I think is good, and click open. Wait until that uploads and set product image. All right, once our image is in there, we can always add a new category so products can go into certain categories. I'm just going to put this in the coaching category, and I'm going to click publish. All right, now we can view our product. And we can open the link in a new tab by right-clicking and pressing open link in new tab. And we can see our image, the title, the cost, and we can add it to the cart. People can also review it right here and give it a star rating, or we can take off that review, which I showed you at the start of this section. All right, but let's exit out of there and let's add a new product. All right, I'm going to go a little bit faster because we already did this. I'm going to add in a title, then scroll down, put in a price. Something new here, we can edit inventory by clicking on inventory, and we can enable stock management. So maybe we only have 3 of a certain product. Once it sells out, then people won't be able to buy anymore. That's pretty cool. We can also go to advanced and enable reviews. We already saw that. Scroll down, add the product description, and set an image. Then we can add it to a category, and we can click publish. Now let's add a new product, put in the product name, scroll down, add a price, scroll down, add a description, set the product image, and add it to the category and click publish. Let's do that one more time. Add a new product, put in a title, put in a price, scroll down, add a description, set the product image. Let's go ahead and make that bold actually. Put it to the coaching category and click publish. Fun stuff, I know. All right, now we can go ahead and visit our website and go back to the Work With Me page. Then we can scroll down and we can see all of those products right here. If you don't remember how those products showed up, let me show you. But first we can see this 90-day habit forming right here is kind of messed up, so let's change that. To get back to the product easily, let's right click and open the link in the new tab, go to the page, and then we can just edit the product right here. Once we do that, we can scroll all the way down, and where it says 90 days habit forming, let's remove that space, and we could just make this bold also. Sometimes you run into weird little glitches like that. That's just the way it works. Then click update, and we can exit out of there, refresh, and hopefully that will look much better. Great. All right, so we have all of these, but we have 400, and then we have 150, and then 900 and 700. That kind of makes me crazy. Shouldn't it be 150, 400, 700, then 900? I think so. So how do we change that? We can click on Edit with Elementor, and we can click on this blank space right here, which is the short code to show the products. So it says product limit equals 4, so it's 4 products, column equals 4. And then we can put order by equals ID. So this will order it by how it was added to the website. So we added the ones that cost the least first, and then the most last. So if we order it like that, then it will be in the correct order, hopefully. And yes, it is. So that's awesome. We can exit out of there and go to Customize, and then go to WooCommerce, and go to Product Images, and we can change the way the image looks. So we can crop it 1:1. We can do a custom ratio, so like 4:3, which looks pretty good. Or we can make it even wider and make it 5:3. Then we can click on Publish, and we can exit out of there. All right, so that's looking pretty awesome. What we also can do is learn how to edit the categories. So we can hover over our website name and go to the dashboard, then go to products, and then go to categories. So just like our blog categories, we can actually add categories to products. So for example, if you have a clothing company and you have different clothes, you definitely want a pants category and a shirt category, and maybe even a hat category. They shouldn't all be jumbled together. And you can add these categories to the menu so that people can find what they want. So we have some categories, and we can add more right here. And you can actually make it a parent of a category. So you can have all your clothes under one category and then all your accessories under another category. So your clothes would be in the clothes parent category, and your accessories would be in the accessories parent category. You can add a description or upload an image for the category, and you can add a new one. So that is how you add a category. You can of course delete categories, and you can see how many products are in each category. So we're just going to delete the self-help category and keep the coaching one. All right, so that's how to add new products and categories to your shop. The next thing that we're going to do is edit the shop page. And for this website, we don't really need to do it because we added the shop with the short code to the Work With Me page. But usually you'd want to have a shopping cart section on your website. So I'm going to show you how to edit that if you did. So we can just go to Pages and scroll down until we find our shop page. And we can go to Quick Edit, and we can change that page name if we want, maybe to Store or something. We can also view it, or we can visit our store up here. So we visit our store, and then it has all of our products. So we can see all of the products, but how do we edit how this is laid out? So it's not laid out with Elementor. It's laid out by the theme settings itself. So in order to edit this page, we can click on Customize. And of course, once we're in Customize, we can add it to the menu. We can add the shop page to the menu, but we already learned how to do that, so I'm not going to do that now. And we can go to Layout and then WooCommerce, and then go to Shop. And here is where you can edit all of those settings. So maybe we want the shop, instead of to have 3 columns, to have 2 columns. So just 2 products, or we can make it 3 or 4, and we can see all of that right here. How many products per page do we want? Do we want 12 or 10 or 8? I usually like to do it in 3s or 4s. So like 9, 12, or 15, because I usually like to have 3 or 4 columns on my websites, on my shops. So product image hover style, this can be none or swap images. Swap images would be used if you had multiple images, like a gallery, and then when you hover over each product, then you would see the second image in the product gallery when you hover over. The shop product structure, so we can hide the title, which will hide it. We can show the title, which will show it, surprisingly. We can hide the price or the short description by just clicking on any of that. We can show the ratings or hide the ratings. We can add to cart if we want. And when you click on it, that would add it to cart, or we can hide that. We can also show or hide the category, and they're all in the coaching category. All right, let's just hide that though. We can make the width of the shopping page anything that we want by making it a custom width, and we can change that right here. So maybe we want it to be really narrow, and that'll squash everything in, or we can change it back to normal, which is 1200. And that looks about right to me. Let's just make it default though. And that looks really awesome. We can go back and back again and back one more time. We could also go to menus and go to main menu. And then we can add an item, and we can add this shop page to the menu. So we would just click on this plus button and add it to the menu, and now you'd have the shop page in the menu. So that's probably how most shops would operate. It's not how this website operates. So I'm not going to save it. I'm just going to exit out of there and press OK. So that is awesome. We are all done learning how to edit the shop page. The next thing that we're going to do is add a payment method. So right now we have a store or a shop, but we have no way of allowing people to pay. So first we're going to add PayPal. PayPal is the easiest way to accept payment, but it isn't necessarily the best way. But if you need to get up and running super quick, then this is the way to do it. So what this is going to do is someone's going to go on your website, and then they're going to fill out all of their contact information, but not necessarily their payment information. Then they're going to press submit, and then it's going to open up another page, and that's where they're going to enter in their payment information. So they're going to enter in their payment information on PayPal instead of on your website. So it's a much easier way to do it, but obviously some people aren't going to want to have their customers enter in the payment on the PayPal website. But let's learn how to do it real quick. So you hover over your website and go to Dashboard, and then go to WooCommerce and go to Settings. Then click on Payments, and where it says PayPal, we can enable. All right, now that that works, let's enable PayPal Standard, and then enter in our email address. I'm just going to put in mine. We can enable the PayPal Sandbox so we can do a test payment, but you need a developer account, so we're not going to do that. Receiver email, I'm just going to put in my email also. And then I'm going to click Save Changes, and that is literally it. You obviously do need a PayPal account hooked up to the email that you entered, so you can do that at paypal.com. But let's go to our website and let's go to the Work With Me or to your shop or whatever. Let's click on something, add it to the cart, and we can view our cart, or we can go up here and view our cart, and we can proceed to checkout. And now we can see that we have PayPal enabled right here. So they would enter in all of their billing details. Let me just enter in that real quick. And then click Proceed to PayPal. This is going to open up PayPal, and the website's going to send all of that information over to PayPal, and people can enter in their credit card number, and you can accept payment that way. So that's the easier way to do it. I'm just going to go back to the website, and we are all done with adding PayPal to your website. Not the best way, but definitely the easiest way. Before we can add my favorite payment method, we have to secure our website. And as you can see, and you've probably seen during this whole tutorial, it says not secure up here. And it says not secure because anything entered in here can be intercepted by a third party. So the information that is entered on your website needs to travel through the internet, and anyone can intercept that information, like your internet service provider, and see what your customer has entered. So we need SSL encryption in order to encrypt that message so that anyone that intercepts the message will be encrypted. So in order to take credit cards on your website, you need to encrypt things like the credit card number in order for the credit card company to allow you to accept credit cards on your website. All right, so to get SSL, all we have to do is go to our dashboard, scroll down and go to plugins, and go to add new. Then we're going to search for a plugin called SSL. What do you know? The first result should be really simple SSL. This is the one that I like the best. Click install now, and then click activate. All right, it still says not secure, so we have to go ahead and activate SSL. Or we can scroll down from the plugins page and go to settings. So we can see right here that an SSL certificate already is detected on our website. Now, HostGator comes with free SSL. That's one of the reasons I really like them. In most modern or up-to-date hosting companies should include this for you. If you see that this is not included, then you should question your hosting company, or you should just live chat them or call them on phone support and say, hey, can you install an SSL? And can you do it for free? It used to cost money, but since Google updated their Chrome browser to show this not secure up here, all the hosting companies are now including it for free. Google also ranks you higher if you have SSL, and you'll be able to see that because your website will have HTTPS, and it'll show a secure lock up here if you're on Chrome. So if you don't have SSL, basically, you can throw a fit, but you probably do have it, so just continue. All right, so you can click go ahead and activate SSL. And now we have SSL is enabled on your website. Now what this might do is it might log you out. And we can see we have an X here because not all of our content is showing up with the HTTPS. Some of our content is still HTTP, like our images and things like that. So we need to figure out how to update that. But we can just visit our site, and it does indeed log us out. And we can see now we have that HTTPS and then our website.com instead of just the regular HTTP. So we need to log back in because your browser thinks that this is a whole new website. So we're just going to go to /wp-admin, enter in our username and password, and log in. Now that we did that, we can go and visit our site, and we can see that we do have the HTTPS, but it says your connection is not fully secure. And why is that? And that's because some of the images, like I said before, are HTTP happinesscompass.com / picture.jpg, and some other pictures are HTTPS happinesscompass.com / JPEG. So they all need to be the same, and they all need to be HTTPS. So how do we rewrite all of the images and everything in order to be HTTPS? And if we successfully do that, then we'll get a secure lock. If we go to the Work With Me page, we can see that we have that issue also, where it's your connection is not fully secure. So we need to change that. So let's go to the dashboard. And luckily for us, Elementor has made a tool in order to rewrite all of the URLs and update them from HTTP to HTTPS. So we just go to Elementor and then go to Tools and go to Replace URL. So we're just going to copy it from up here. And then this is the new URL. So we're going to say the new URL is HTTPS. And the old URL, let's just paste that in there, is HTTP. So it's going to find and replace everything that is HTTP with HTTPS, our website.com. All right, so it's going to find everything with HTTP and replace it with HTTPS. Then just click Replace URL, and it's going to say 34 rows affected, or however many it affected. Then we'll save changes, and we can go to General. And sometimes I just like to regenerate the CSS. I don't think it actually does anything, but just for fun, I like clicking buttons. And we can resync our library, just in case. Again, I don't think it's necessary. It's just fun to do. Then click Save Changes. And now it should have changed it so that if we visit our site, hopefully, maybe, possibly, we can see that lock button and our connection is fully secure. So your customer's connection will be fully secure. They can feel safe entering in their credit card number and knowing that a third party is not going to intercept it along its way. We can go to the About page and we can see also that that is fully secure. We can go to the Work With Me page and we can see again that is secure. So you might want to check all of your pages. And if you find one that isn't, then what you want to do is edit that site with Elementor and make a space or a dot or change a little something and update it, and then it will be secure. But it looks like all of my pages are secure, so we can go to Contact and everything looks great and secure. So that is how you install SSL. Now your website has the ability to do the next section. So for this part, we're going to integrate my favorite payment method, which is Stripe, and this is going to allow you to take the payments on your actual website. So to do that, just hover over the website and go to the dashboard. Then click on Plugins, and we're going to add a new plugin. So click Add New, and we're going to look for WooCommerce Stripe. All right, so it should be the first one by WooCommerce, and we're going to install now. Once it's installed, you can click on Activate. Once it's activated, we can go back to WooCommerce and then go to Settings. Then we can click on Payments, and we can see this Stripe right here. And we see all of these other ones, but we don't need to pay attention to them. We just need to pay attention to this one. We can check off PayPal so that that's not working anymore, and enable Stripe. Then we can click on Setup, and we can scroll down a little bit, and it's going to ask us for our test publishable key and our test secret key. So we need both of these keys in order to test to see if Stripe is working. So let's open up a new tab and go to stripe.com. And for this, you're going to need to sign up for Stripe. So I'm not going to show you how to sign up for something. It's pretty simple. So just click on Sign In, and we can enter in our email address and our password. But you would probably be signing up. It's going to send a verification code to our phone number, and we can enter that in right here and sign in. So we have our Get Your Test API keys right here. And they're blurred out because I don't want people knowing the keys. So we're just going to paste them right here. And for the secret key, that's this one right here. We're just going to paste it here. All right, so now that's enabled. And these are just the test keys. So people won't be able to buy yet. It's just going to test our shopping cart. If we scroll down, we can see payment request button. And I recommend to disable that. We don't really need that. Sometimes it makes your website act really weird where there's a double pay button or a double add to cart button. So we're just not going to do that. Then click Save Changes. All right, now we can go back to our website and we can go back to our cart, or we can go to the Work With Me page. And we can add this one right here if we click on it. Add it to the cart. And we can view our cart. Proceed to checkout. Enter in all of the information, and if you see over here on the right, it's in test mode. So what we can do is we can just copy this credit card number, which obviously isn't real, and paste it. And then we can make up an expiration date, but make it up so that it is real in the sense that it's not already expired, and your credit card CVC number. So just make that up. Then press place order. And now it's going to act as if that was a real order. So it's going to send us a confirmation email, and it's going to send the customer an email, and it's going to give us this nice thank you, your order has been received, and it's going to tell us all the information about our order. So now we can go back into our dashboard. We can go to WooCommerce, and we can see that we have an order. So we have another order right here. It's also going to email us, and it's also going to email the customer saying that they got an order. So that looks pretty cool. We can click on this eye right here, and we can see all of the order details, like the billing address, the email, the phone number. So we have all of our orders organized, and we can mark that order as completed. We can say, okay, we shipped that out. It's now complete. So there it is, completed. So now we can go back to settings, and we can go to payments again, and we can go to where Stripe is, and we can click on manage. What we're going to do here is disable the test mode and enable the real payments mode. So this is going to be that you can really take payments on your website now. So these are live publishable keys, not your test publishable keys. So we can click on get your live keys. We can copy those keys, and then we can paste them right here. And we can do that again. We can copy the secret key, and we can paste it right here. Then we can click on Save Changes, and now your website really has the ability to take payments. So we can close that tab. We're all done with that. We can visit our website. We can see that there are no products in the cart because we just bought some products. So we can go back to the Work With Me. Click on the Basecamp, click on Add to Cart, view the cart, and proceed to checkout. And now you can really pay with your real credit card. So this will allow anyone almost in the entire world to pay with credit card right into your bank account. So that's pretty cool. All right, so that's how you integrate my favorite payment method, which is Stripe, onto your website. The next thing that we're going to do is sign up for Amazon affiliates so that when we refer people to Amazon, we're going to get paid that money. So we can open up a new tab and just go to Amazon.com. Pretty popular website. And if we scroll all the way down, we can see Become an Affiliate. So what this does is when you have a product on your website that Amazon sells and you link to it, then you get a small commission. So here we are, affiliate-program.amazon.com. And this is how you make money. You join, you advertise, and you earn. Great. Let's click Join Now, or you can just log in if you already have an account, but I'm going to press Join Now for free. Then press Create Your Amazon account and enter in all of the details. Pretty simple stuff. I'm going to speed through this a little bit. And let's press Create Your Amazon account. It's going to email me some verification stuff. Go ahead and verify. Let's speed through this. And then we enter in all this information, and you should be able to figure this out. So I'm just going to speed through this too. All right, then we're just going to click on Next. And now we're going to enter in all of the websites or the YouTube channels or whatever it is right here that you're going to advertise the Amazon affiliate products on. So then just click on Add, and that's all we're going to add. You can add up to 50 websites. Then just click on Next. And it says, is there anything directed at children under 13? I'm just going to put no. Self-help is not for children under 13. Sorry, kids. Confirm that. Then it's going to ask us what our preferred Amazon Associate Store ID is. I'm just going to put in Tyler Moore. Then it's going to ask us what our website is about. I'm I'm going to put traveling. It's really about self-help, but that'll do. Then it's going to ask us all these different questions, and you should be able to figure them out. It's pretty easy, so I'm just going to speed through this a little bit, and I'm going to put books and fill out this information. I'm just going to say content or niche websites and blog. So how do you drive traffic to your website? I'm going to say email, social networks, forms, SEO, lead generation, who knows? Just fill it out as best as you can. How do you monetize it? Just, whatever. Maybe you don't even monetize it yet. I'm going to say other affiliate programs and display advertising. How do you usually build links? Blog editor, Blogger, WordPress, Typepad. How many unique visitors? I'm going to say 501 to 5,000. What's your main reason for joining? To monetize my site, yeah. How'd you hear about us? From the Amazon website. A lot of questions. Enter in the CAPTCHA, press next, verify our phone number, and press call me now. And then now we'll wait. We'll enter that in. Congratulations, it worked. Agree to the terms of service and finish. All right, now we have signed up for the Amazon Associates program with our unique ID. Now enter in your payment and tax information, and we can do that later. All right, we can copy this ID. It's not really needed, but then we can press later, and now we have signed up for the Amazon affiliate program. Thrilling. The next thing that we're going to do is insert our Amazon affiliate link into our website. So right here, we can search for our product. For example, we can type in a keyword like book, or we can browse for our product, and we can look at all of these right here. And we can also see the earnings overview for the last 30 days. Obviously, we haven't made anything yet. And we can see the summary for the month. And again, we didn't make anything. We can see some recommended products, but obviously that's not what we want right now. And we can search for a book right here. I'm just going to search for The Confidence Code. All right, and press go. This is the book right here. And we can press get link. And we have 3 different ways on the top to get our link: text and image, text only, or image only. And we can customize the color right here, and the title right here, and the price right here. The second option is text only. To grab this image, this text and image, you would scroll down and you'd copy the code. I'm going to show you what that looks like on the text only. So you see the text only, you see the HTML down here. You could just copy it and paste it into your website. Or we can copy the standard link, which is much better. And this has all of our affiliate IDs and everything right here, as we can see here. And that's how Amazon knows to give you credit for referring people to them. We can also get the short link. So this is a link that has all of the information of the standard link. It's just a lot shorter. The third option is image only. So it's just going to show just like this, just an image. And you can copy the HTML right here. All right, so now I'm going to go back to the website to edit the books page and add the real affiliate link to the book that we've listed on the page. Because right now it's just an image. It doesn't click to Amazon, and it doesn't give us commission for recommending them. So I'm just going to click on books, and let's add the affiliate link right here. So let's go to edit with Elementor. And let's click on this edit pencil icon. And we're going to add the link right here. So when someone clicks on this, they go to the Amazon site and we get commission or credit for it. So let's go back to the Amazon Associates. And we could either use text only and see this short link, or we could use the standard link. Either way, I'm going to use the short link because it looks a lot better. So just copy that and then just paste that right in here. Paste. And for our link options, we want to open this up in a new window. So it'll open a new window and they'll still be on our site. And then we can click it here and we can do the same. So get it now. We can paste that in there and go to the options and open up in a new window. And we can update that. So now when someone clicks on that, it goes to Amazon and we get a little commission for it. So now when we click on the book, it should bring us to Amazon.com, right to the page. And now you can have Amazon sell them on the book and get that commission. All right, and so hopefully they'll add it to cart and they'll buy the book. All right, if we close that and close this too, we can look at some of the other link methods. So we see this one right here, and we have the HTML here. So we can copy this, go back to our website, click on this button, and type in HTML. This is the way you would insert HTML into your website. We're just going to add it up here, and we'll paste the HTML. So that's a way of putting it in, and that might work really well for like a sidebar or something if you have it on your website, but our page looks much better than the way Amazon formats it. It might take a little bit more time, but it's much better. So we're just going to delete that. We can also go to image only, and we can see it right there and just copy the HTML, go back to our website and paste it. So there we have it. But again, our image looks better and it has those cool effects and everything. So just wanted to show you how to put that in there if you did come across a situation where it made sense. So I'm just going to update that. And if we go over to product linking and go to product links, we can search for any products right here. And there's a whole bunch of things like promotion, tools, reports, and help. And up here is our account settings and payment history and manage your tracking ID and to sign out. But after you sign up, you don't really need to go to the affiliate site every time. You can just go to Amazon.com. And we can see our Amazon Associates site stripe right here. And let me show you what that does. So because we're logged into our Amazon Associates account, we can just search for a book. And once we click on it, you can get the link from any of the 3 different options, text, image, or text and image. And you can just copy it right here. And it's the same thing as going into the back end of Amazon and doing it the other way. So you can mess with all of the settings in the same way. Let's exit out of there. And if we want to see our earnings, we can click on earnings up here. And that'll bring us to the back end where it shows us all of our earnings and the reports and everything like that. So that is how you sign up for the Amazon affiliate program. Other affiliate programs work in the same way, where they give you a link to put on your website, and if people click the link, then they give you credit or money or whatever it is they offer, usually money, and you are able to monetize your website that way. So we're just going to close all of those tabs so we can go back to our website, and obviously we would do that on every single book. And we are all done with that step. The next thing that I'm going to show you how to do is one of my favorite things to do because it's super easy but offers a lot of really cool features. So what we're going to do is install Google Analytics. Google Analytics allows you to see how many people go to your website, from where they're located, which pages they visit, and a whole lot more. So how do we install it? It's super easy. Let's just open up a new tab and go to analytics.google.com, or you could just search for Google Analytics in Google. And we can start using Google Analytics by clicking on sign up. You want to make sure that you're logged into your Gmail account before you sign up because it will make it a lot easier. So click on sign up, and then we can fill out this information like account name, website name. Because we added the HTTPS to our website, because we added the SSL, we're going to choose HTTPS. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go to your website and see if it says HTTP or HTTPS before your URL. So we have HTTPS, And we're going to put in the website right here. Great. We can select an industry, whatever industry you are a part of, just select it right there. United States, I'm in Los Angeles, so that's good. I'm just going to make sure that they're all checked and do what's recommended. Then click Get Tracking ID and accept their policies. Are you really going to read all of that? Probably not. And accept this one too. Feels like you're signing your life away. I accept. And we're going to put no thanks. And we're going to exit out of here because I'm going to show you all of this. And it says your tracking ID. So we can go ahead and copy this. We can go back to our website and go to our dashboard. And what we're going to do is install a Google Analytics plugin on our website to make it super easy. So just go to plugins and we're going to add new. And guess what we're going to search for? You'll probably be very surprised that we're going to search for Google Analytics. I know. Shocking. All right, then there's all of these different plugins and they have millions of installs. And you'll probably be good with installing any of them. But we're just going to go with the first one here and click Install Now. Wait for it to install and then click on Activate. All right, now we have our Google Analytics plugin activated. We can click on Google Analytics right here and we can click on Authorize Plugin. Now it's going to ask us for an access code, so just click on Get Access Code. That's going to launch the Google Analytics, but first we have to choose our account. Then click Allow, and now it's going to give us this crazy thing right here. I'm going to blur this out because I don't know if I'm supposed to share this with the internet or not. Paste it in there and save access code. Alrighty. If you want to clear the authorization, you can do that. You can clear cache, you can report and reset errors, but we have it all installed. All right, so we have all of our information right here. We can click on Save Changes to save all of that. And now we can close this tab and we're on our Google Analytics. So we can just click on Home and we can see the active users right now. If we had someone on our website, which we don't because the maintenance mode is still on, then it would show right here how many people are on your website. We can get a real-time overview and we can see that number right here. And you can see where the pages that they're visiting are and where they were referred from. And you can also see where they live. If someone was on the website right now, it would have like a blue dot of where that was. So if like 100 people are on your website, you can see all of these dots across the world. Really cool. We can also go to not real time by clicking on audience and going to overview. And we can see by, country or city or everything like that. So it's a whole lot of things that you can do with Google Analytics. Those things will give you a lot of information that is super helpful because then you can start creating content that people are really liking because now you know what top content people visit your site for. So we can close that tab and we can go to the dashboard and we can see our Google Analytics dashboard right in here now. So that plugin's really cool. It pulls all of the data from Google Analytics and you can put it right into your website. So you might need to learn what all of this means, but basically users is how many users go to your website. Page views is how many pages those users viewed. Bounce rate, you want this number to be low. It's the amount of people who go on your website and then just leave. How many people came from organic search, how many pages per session, how much time on an average page, and then page load time, so how fast is your website, and session duration, so during the whole user session, how long did they stay on your website for? So all of that is super interesting. Google does favor websites that have a lower bounce rate, so people aren't just coming on your website and leaving. And they also favor a website that has higher session duration, so people that go on a website and just stay on there for longer. All right, so that was one of my favorite things to do which was installing Google Analytics, and I would definitely use Google Analytics to track your visitors. The next thing that we're going to do also has a lot of great benefits and is super easy to do, and that is compressing our images. So sometimes we upload images that are just too big for our website, and it makes our website really slow. So I'm going to download a plugin that allows us to optimize and compress our images. It's not going to make the image look any different, but it's going to make our website load a lot faster. It's super easy. We just need a plugin. So click on plugins and let's add new. So just search for EW Image Optimizer, EWWWW. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that. All right, then we can see the EW Image Optimizer and click install now. We can see that it has 700,000 active installations and wait for it to install. And it's installed. Now we can go ahead and click on activate and it's all activated. So that was super easy. Now we can go to settings and go to the image optimizer. And we have all of these different options. You can get the API key if you purchase something, but the regular thing is just fine. And we can choose our different compression types. Pixel Perfect is great because it's going to look exactly the same. And we have all these different options up here. I'm not going to go over all of them. Once we do that, we can click on Media and go to Bulk Optimize. All right, it's going to ask us if we want to force re-optimize. So if we've previously already optimized it, then we can skip the ones that were already optimized. So we can check that off or not check that off. I haven't optimized anything yet, so I don't need to click on that. And then how long do we want to pause between images? Sometimes if you have a really bad web server or host, then this can overload your hosting company. So you want to add some delay in seconds, but we have a good host, so we're just going to keep it at 0 and do them one after another without any time delay. All right, now we're going to scan for unoptimized images, and it's going to scan, and it found 426 images, so we're going to start optimizing those. And now through the magic of editing, I'm going to speed this up also. And we've optimized 426 out of 426. We can go back to our website and it should load just a little bit faster. All right, so that's how you optimize your images so that your website will load faster and your users will be happy and they'll stay on your website longer. Plus, Google also ranks websites that run faster higher in the search engines. The second to last thing that we're going to do is turn off maintenance mode. So right now, when a regular visitor goes to our site, they're going to see that our site is under construction, so we need to turn that off. To do that, just hover over the under construction and choose off. Once we do that, we're going to see a red little dot, and that means that our website is live. So the entire internet can now see our website, which is awesome. And the last thing that we're going to do is log out. And it's super easy. All we have to do is hover over this part right here and click log out. And now we can go back to our website by pressing on this button. And now we can see our website exactly how the user would see it. So that's how you create a website step by step with no steps skipped. You learn how to make a regular website. You learn how to make a blog. You learn how to add affiliates and a shopping cart. So really, congratulations. Please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. I'm Tyler Moore. Thank you so much.